Hey, how's it going? It's me, Tom. How are you? Good? Good. Love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on. How you doing? Or coming to listen, I guess. You're not really on the show, obviously. This week, Pat reached out to me, and he was like, hey, let's come on, let's hang out. So we did. It was a good time. We avoided politics this time, which is probably to his benefit, and everyone's benefit. It was good. It was fun. It opens up to more topics, and it's more fun. We got more very personal, talking about real things like emotions and shit. That kind of stuff. Always good. This episode was going to be out earlier than it is now, currently. But usually when I listen back to this and take down time codes, I do like a mundane thing, like some grinding in an RPG or whatever. So I was like, I'll finish this model of the Megazord I have. And so I'm fucking working on the Pterodactyl Zord. And then to pop out the little fucking little pieces from the little skeletons or whatever, I have like an X-Acto knife. And so me, being the genius that I am, I was like, I'll pop this wing out, but I'm just going to have my finger a little bit low. And so I sliced my finger, and it was horrible. And it hurt a lot. There's a lot of blood. I was passed out. It was real terrible. A lot of blood loss. My brain doesn't handle blood loss. It happens a lot when I give blood, too. I'm like, holy shit. And I get like all lightheaded, and like they're like, he's going to die. So I like stay in like the little room for like over an hour. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I just need a second to drink a lot of juice and eat cookies. And they're like, you don't look okay. So it happens all the time. But there's a lot of blood. My finger hurts. Well, it's better now, but it was a spooky night. So like I lost like a bunch of hours doing that. So, but now it's here. It's done, and I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. It was a good one. Learned a lot. Talking about life, how things are going, ups and downs, the best of stuff. But I hope you enjoy it, and here you go. Enjoy.
This is your brain, and this
is your brain on Tom.
Okay, we're here. Episode 60-something. Pat Punk's back. How's it going, Pat?
Oh, my God. Hi, Tom.
How's it going?
Good.
How have you been, though? We haven't talked to him in forever.
I know. When was the last time we saw each other?
Was it Dan's party?
It was. Dan's pool party, yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, have you been doing medical school or some shit? That's what you're doing?
PA school,
PA school, that's what it is, yeah.
PA
so it's not technically... Is it not medical school, technically?
No.
That's a vastly different thing?
Yeah, so med school, 4 years.
Okay.
2 years in the classroom, followed by another 2 years of like sort of clinical stuff, like a clerkship year, then
like
a final
Scrubs?
4th year. Sort of. I think in Scrubs, do they start out when they're residents?
I think they're residents because I
think they're like interns, which is like your first year in residency.
Then yeah, that makes sense. Because I remember there are parts where they're like, let's pick our practice or something. So I think that's, or they have to pick a practice or a specialty. Specialty, is that what it's called?
Then maybe they started as 4th years. I don't know.
No, that's later on in the show. When they first started out, I think they are like their first year into being doctors or something.
Okay.
But that's my only touchstone to anything medical. So
okay, well that's okay. I mean, I don't know everything about it either, just because PA school is pretty different.
Oh, even that, I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
Like Scrubs is my only connection to any of that field.
Yeah, Scrubs was a good show though.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, have you seen all of it?
Not all of it. I saw it's hard to say because I've watched a lot of it on Comedy Central, so there's a good chance I've seen all of it. But I hate the theme song so much.
Oh, I love the theme song. I played banjo, so that was always a great
that's good, yeah.
song. But who was your favorite character?
I like JD.
Okay.
I don't know. JD and Turk are adorable. I enjoy them.
Interesting.
Elliot's a QT. I don't know.
Okay. I always...
Am I saying all the right things?
Yeah, I guess. I always associate, Turk with Tristan.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but like...
I guess I could see that, sure.
Yeah.
Do you have everyone as a Scrubs parallel in your life?
No, I don't know. Just Tristan, I guess. I don't know. Also, it's interesting that Turk is black and Tristan is white. I don't know.
Well, he has black siblings, so I guess I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know why I'm like trying to make the bridge here, but I'll do my best.
Fair enough. But I feel like most people would say like Dr. Cox is usually their favorite character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because he's such a dick. And
I guess that's true. I guess that's a very American thing of liking the stronger, like shittier person. I don't know. I think the fact JD and Turk's dynamic is really fun.
Oh yeah.
And then just JD kind of being a total dweeb is also adorable.
Yeah,
and fun.
It's kind
relatable.
Similar to our dynamic, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know idea.
So is that back in the days, Comedy Central, when you would watch commercials too?
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think you fundamentally changed my life. I forget when we were talking about this. Must have been years ago now at this point. When you said, "Oh yeah, Pat, I haven't watched a commercial in years."
I was just about to say the same thing. I was about to, if you didn't keep going, I would have just said that.
I was like, "What are you talking about, Tom?" Like, when I go home to see my parents, we watch more commercials than we do actual TV. Like,
I haven't seen a commercial in so long. I came in like, even if I'm using an online service like Hulu that would have ads, fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm out. Not happening.
Wow.
Actually, no. I think I have seen ads recently. It was another service called Tubi or something to watch a movie, and they had a couple ad breaks, but I don't think I was in the room. I think I got up when they did that, so I don't know if I actually sat through a full ad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, your efficiency is incredible.
It's just a lot of patience.
Okay.
And ad block is really good too.
Yeah, I've never downloaded that. But
why not?
I should.
It's just, why would you not?
Yeah, I mean, does that work like for streaming stuff, like illegal streaming stuff? Like today, for example, I was streaming a soccer game. Okay. And there were ad overlays and stuff.
If it's overlay and like the streaming service is doing it, yes. But if it's like they're streaming their television, no. Does that make sense?
Yep, that does make sense. And it was the first one.
Then yeah, you could skip the first one. That if it's like the stream service is like, here's an ad block will remove that. But if it is someone's just TV, it will just keep going.
Okay.
But like in a sports game, there's probably not as many ad breaks unless there's like downtime in some way.
Yep.
So it's probably, especially like soccer, like how many times does the clock stop in soccer? Never.
It doesn't.
Like it literally doesn't, right? Yeah.
Until halftime.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why it's the greatest sport.
Really? You think it's the greatest sport?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really? Why is that?
Rugby could top it.
Why rugby out of all of them?
Well, because similar to soccer and rugby, the clock never stops.
Why about that? What about that aspect is the cool thing? I don't.
It's really lame that I'm an adult now, and I'll say time budgeting.
Okay.
Like for example, you sit down to watch a baseball game or a football game.
A lot of downtime.
Yeah, right. It could be
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's dramatic. Probably just 3. But
we were just talking about no commercial breaks. Soccer only at halftime.
That's true. That's true. I tried to watch the World Cup and didn't see a single commercial, but I also could barely get the thing to work. So.
Oh man. So yeah, and then as far as rugby goes, I mean the physicality. Americans would really enjoy the sport because there's so much strategy to it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I played for a couple semesters.
Right, I remember you doing that. Yeah.
Never very good. Mm-hmm. But I think it's one of the closest experiences you can get to what I imagine combat or like
really
real war is like. Yeah,
I know it's pretty violent. Like it's, you don't wear like a helmet or anything, which probably actually is better for you. Yeah,
well, you're supposed to tackle in a way that's safe to protect the neck.
Oh, okay.
You can't, but.
Wasn't the helmet in football what causes a lot of like CTE stuff too? Because you can just get your head gets rocked around in a plastic rock or a plastic ball.
I've heard that.
So I don't know how true that is because I don't study CTE ever.
Right,
but
yeah, but I have heard that. Mm-hmm. But and then rugby, you're always on attack and defense at the same time.
Really?
So yeah.
Why is that?
So, as soon as you turn it over, you have to tackle the guy who you turned it over to.
Oh, okay. Oh, because there's no like down space.
Right, there's no downs. Yeah,
you don't stop when the ball. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
So you're always just back and forth.
Yep.
Does rugby score high? It's like soccer where it's kind of like a 2-0. It's like holy shit.
No. So no. So,
no, they have like a field goal thing in rugby,
it's
right?
More similar to football. You score what's called a try.
Okay.
Which is the equivalent of a touchdown.
Okay.
It's worth 5 points.
Why we gotta be assholes and just go and call the touchdown? What are we doing?
I don't know. Probably because it's been around since like the 1700s.
It's some like other language thing. Yeah.
And then, so what's neat about it is wherever you touch the ball down in the end zone, that's where, like, that's the angle you have to kick the equivalent of the point after from.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. So if you ever see them in rugby, like they'll get into the end zone and it doesn't actually count as a score until you touch the ball to the ground. Oh, so like you could get picked up and thrown out and it doesn't count.
Oh, interesting. So the ball has to reach there, not you.
Right.
Okay.
And you'll have to, like people usually try to run towards the center and like the goalpost so that way they can have a straight on kick.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah.
I didn't know anything about this. I've been to a rugby game and couldn't tell you what was happening.
What game? What was the context for this?
It was in our sophomore year. Yeah, sophomore year. When we actually, I lived like over the rugby pitch, and I had a friend from a job, and she was playing rugby, and it was like me and another coworker, or another coworker was there, and then they were like, "Hey, we're here at Siena. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "All right, I'm just getting out of bed. Sure."
Wow.
It was like 1:00 or something stupid. But I walked down, and I was just watching. I was like, I have no idea what's happening. This is interesting. And then that was it.
Wow. So you went to a Siena women's rugby game then?
Actually, I know I've been to a second rugby game where I was for cross country. We used to go to Manhattan. It was more like Manhattan College. We weren't in the city, the actual island of Manhattan. We were a little bit out. And it takes place in their park, and I forget which park it was. It may just be called Manhattan Park. I don't remember.
It wasn't Randall Park by chance.
Maybe it was Randall Park. It was called the Manhattan Invitational, but it wasn't in Manhattan. I forget where it was, but Randall Park sounds possible.
Okay.
And like, because it's a park, like the event takes place in a greater portion of like the actual park, but there was a section of green that they roped off, and like, we're gonna play rugby here at like 3:00 or whatever.
Okay.
And so like, I did my race, and then you stand around forever because you can't like go home because you're in the city.
Sure.
You're 3 hours away. So I just sat there and watched these guys play. It was the first time I ever saw rugby.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is violent. These guys are just tossing each other around. But I also had never seen this. I had no idea what to put the context in.
Yeah.
And then my coach had played it a little bit, and he like in high school or something. He like briefly explained parts of it, and he was like, and I stopped when someone knocked me over and stepped on my ear and crushed my head. And I was like, all right.
Yep.
sounds like something right.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't fit in too well on the field just because, I mean, I kind of understand the game. You know,
but you're a giant.
Just do that. Yeah. Yeah, for those listening, 120 pounds soaking wet.
You're 120 pounds?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, actually a little less than that now, but I'm seeing my doctor about that, trying to figure it out.
I'm 130, and I'm very small.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a saga, trying to figure some things out.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with that, because I can't gain weight to save my life, so I can't help you.
I don't know. I mean, I used to be 125. In college, my peak was like 135, so I don't know.
Wow. I'm like 133, I think, on a good day.
Yeah. That's funny. I always say that on a good day, too. Like, when I meet, like a woman for the first time, like, oh, yeah, I'm, 5'8" on a good day. Usually gets a laugh. But.
Are you only 5'8"?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you seem like you're way taller.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I've had multiple people tell that to me.
Maybe your weight isn't as bad then, because I'm 5'11", so if I was 120, I'd be probably damaging organs.
Right.
But that makes sense that you're
for damaging organs.
But if you're a little smaller, you probably get away with being a little lighter.
Yeah.
That's not that much of a difference, especially at this like weight class. It's like I think we could still fight each other. I think it's allowed.
Probably,
I think we're in the same weight class.
But who do you think would win?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. I have no stop once go happens, but I rarely let go happen. So, but I feel like I might murder someone, because I remember in college they were like, oh, who is it? Me and Mosey should fight. I'm like, Mosey's going to die. I won't stop.
Well, I mean, I hope Mosey listens to this. Every time I call him, I think we talk about him, right?
Wait, what?
Do we? Or no? I've
no,
about him once before. Maybe we haven't.
I don't know. I don't remember.
But,
everything's a blur at this point.
Well, I mean, I swore that today I was going to talk about anything but politics. Like, here we are, 30 seconds in.
No, we're solid. Fucking 10.
Oh, nice.
Like, it's 11 minutes in. It's a new record.
I was about to say, no one's still listening at this point. Anyways, right?
Everyone's like, oh, this asshole, and shut it off.
Right, exactly. Yeah. After boy, that was part of the whole strategy. I don't want to repeat, when I was kind of an idiot last time.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Anyways, that Moses soft, man. I mean, it's part of the whole Antifa thing, like, God.
Oh, Lord. That's so funny. Soft.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you could take Mosey in a heartbeat.
I just think, really, realistically, I would take him just because I have a better reach and I'm way taller. And I don't think he could actually put me on the ground. But I could easily toss him like a small child.
Yeah, I mean...
what is he, 5'3"? This is so insular. No one knows what I'm talking about. No, he's probably 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah, I was about to say, we were
he's the small one, but...
We called ourselves, I think, the 5'7" house.
Oh, really? Because you, Steve, Tim, and Mosey, yeah?
Yeah, we were all 5'7", yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, that was an interesting little house you guys had.
Yeah, little house. What are you trying to say, Tom?
Well, my house of giants, I was the only tall one in the house.
Yeah. How tall is Malcolm?
Malcolm is only maybe 5'9".
Oh, wow.
Maybe 5. He might be 5'10". I'm definitely taller than him, but I don't know by how much. Yeah, well, I'm taller than Tristan too. And then actually Nick might be taller, as tall as me, maybe taller. Wow. I don't remember.
Well, it's interesting because what I was trying to get to earlier is that even though I am short, I mean, I've rarely ever felt short in my lifetime.
I would never I would never consider you short.
Right, which is, I think a lot of it has to do with how someone carries themselves.
I was just about to say that, because if you, Mosey, Steve, and Tim are all 5'7", I would say you were the tallest out of all that until you said that. I'm like, oh, you're at least 2-3 inches taller than everyone in that house.
Yeah.
But if they're all the same height, I don't know what it is about how you carry yourself, but I would say you're way taller than everyone else.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean,
you definitely stand up taller than most people.
Really? I always thought I had bad posture too, so I've always tried to like push it.
I just feel like, yeah, you often like have your shoulders back, which probably just gives you an extra, at least visually, an inch, even if it's not real.
Sure.
It may look like you're a little bit taller.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been told I walk fast too.
Oh, really?
And like, yeah, people actually make fun of me, or they'll get scared. Like I'll be walking down the sidewalk and like
coming at
I like
them.
stomp like and so, you know, especially now in like whatever area we live in, like there'll be like some, you know, girl walking in front of me and I'll just come like walking my normal pace by and she like jumps off to the side. I'm
But
like,
you're charging at her in her eyes, yeah.
I know. It's like relax. Like I'm literally just trying to walk to my apartment.
I don't know if that's like just an up here thing, but I bet if you're in the city, you would just blend right in with your speed. Because I walk fast too.
Could be.
But I don't walk like with a fast turnover. I just have a bigger stride, so I get places quicker.
Yeah.
You're an important
man, Tom.
I know. I got places to be. People, I got men to talk to about animals. I don't know.
About what?
I was gonna say about a wallaby in quote Finding Nemo, but I couldn't remember the name of the animal, so I just I just substituted it with just animal.
Oh, okay, fair enough. They said anals for a second, and I was like, where are we going with this?
No, we can't go there. I don't know how, but we can try.
Yeah. Well, you follow? Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop there. But
going right to the list now, huh?
Well, I was gonna take a peek while we were talking, just to. Hey, did you go to Gurdy?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I meant to talk about it last show. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, sure.
No, it was so fun. So I went and like I haven't played a Smash game really I like brought it over to a friend's house and played it for a little bit for like maybe an hour, but it's been probably close to like 2 years. I've just not gone anywhere near him. Not like out of like a fuck this. It's just like I haven't thought about it, done other things. And so I just went to go and I hung out. And it was amazing. So many people came from like all over the place, and like friends from like the city and stuff were showing up. People had moved away, came back. It was so great. Shout out to Dandy, saw you there. It was great. We hung out. It was a great time. Awesome. Met a bunch of these dudes at they're from Connecticut, and like the dude, the thing I love about like these nerd meetup things is people just do their own thing. So like you don't just go to play the tournament, you go and then like this dude whipped out his laptop, started playing this like Guitar Hero mod. And it was just like, this is amazing. Like I'm so glad to watch this dude just chilling here play guitar. So I just watched him for a bunch. Because when I was in high school, I used to love watching people play like modded Guitar Hero and Rock Band songs and like do like really, you know, make it really hard or whatever. And I was like, this is really fun. I can just do this live. And then a couple of the other dudes were standing around. They're like, oh, so you like rhythm games? Like, I'm very interested. And then we just started talking about rhythm games, and it was a delight. It was so fun. It was so nice to see everyone. Oh, so great.
Oh, wow. What was the highlight of the day for you?
Probably just seeing everyone.
Okay.
Like seeing like Billy had been in Japan for a while, and I hadn't like run into him since he got back. And Danny moved down to the city, hanging out with Malcolm and stuff. So it was fun. And then like Free was there too, and it was just nice seeing everyone. Having a reason to show up, having a reason to hang out. Saw Flicks. Shout out to Flicks. Should be having a party soon. Can't wait to get hammered with you. Kisses.
Whoa. This sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was good. And then just like, I don't know, Smash Music, a good group of people. I just haven't, I forgot about that.
Cool. Was Adam there?
No, there was, what was it? He's coming up here for something. I don't remember what, but he was coming up here because like Malcolm was talking to him for some reason. And then our trivia team name was My Best Friend Xanda, which is a joke that I happened to have created when we went to a tournament. And I always thought, I mean, he's just so himself, and like you can't really get him to show emotion.
I lived with him for a year.
That's right.
So your audience knows that. Yeah,
that's right.
I was the third.
Yeah,
roommate?
you were the third one, and then everyone left, and it was just you two, right? Or was it the whole time?
It was just us.
Yeah, doesn't that happen? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. It's weird, right? It's weird to think.
That whole time period of my life is such a blur. I don't really know what happened. I was living with Tristan. Tristan was there. My cousin was there for a month.
Yeah.
And I was still paying rent, but wasn't there. And yeah, it was me and Xanda.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a weird like turn of events.
Yeah.
But one tournament we were going to, it was like me, this dude Mike, who was pretty good. He lives in Florida now. Xanda and someone else who was driving. I don't remember who. And I think Malcolm may have been in the car. Tristan was in the car. Something like that. And so I was sitting in the front seat, and Xanda was right behind me. And so I took my phone, I took a picture of just like the side of my face and him looking out the window, and then I drew a little heart around it, and I go, my best friend Xanda. And I sent it to a bunch of people. And then someone started up a Facebook group titled My Best Friend Xanda, and it was taking pictures of you slightly in the foreground and Xanda in the background, not realizing you're taking a picture of him. And it was like, there were a ton of them forever. And it was awesome. So that was our team name at Trivia a couple weeks ago.
Wow, which trivia was this? Was it Smash Trivia?
No, it was at Browns.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's we go with the Smash Kids, like me, Malcolm, Free, and Codeman. Cody is Codeman. I don't even know his tag. He was like starting to play as I was leaving, but I know who he is. He's Cody. He showed up, and then my friend John came by too. Shout out to John for showing up. And then we just kind of played trivia. But that 1 week was we were my best friends and as a team.
Wow, that's incredible. Was that trivia hosted by Sean Murray?
I don't know, but I can tell you because he follows me on Twitter.
He hosted everywhere. He's the guy who does voice impressions.
He sure does.
I think he works for Town Square Media or one
Stephen
of the
Murray.
local... Steve Murray. Sorry,
Steve Murray.
Murray,
That would be him.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's great, man. If you go to enough trivia, he just lets you win. He
really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How?
At least I think he did. All I know is we were playing trivia one night and we got most questions wrong, and all of a sudden it came down to the last question and we were tied for the lead. So
what?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I actually probably shouldn't say this publicly on the air in case,
Well, that's
I don't
hilarious.
give away, but I think everyone knows. Or
I don't know. We just started hanging out there. We've gone twice now. It's fun. I have never gotten a Disney question wrong at any trivia event I've ever been to, which is I didn't know that. It's fine if it spins. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I've never got a Disney question wrong, which I wouldn't consider myself an expert in any capacity. But
what are your thoughts on Disney's new streaming service? Have you already pre-ordered it?
No, I don't pre-order things like that. Like the DC one went live, and I'm I really want Young Justice, but it didn't start with Young Justice, so I'm not pre-ordering that. I'm not jumping into it.
Tom, just to show you my level of ignorance, I didn't know you could pre-order the Disney thing. I was just making a joke.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can sign up now.
Oh, wow.
I might be wrong too, but I'm pretty sure if you want I don't know, maybe not now. I know you could do it like the DC one. You could be I'd like this when it comes out, so you could jump right in.
Okay.
I assume they do that too, but I'm interested because they kind of, I think they technically own the biggest library of stuff.
Okay.
If you have all of their old, if they have everything they've ever done plus everything they own, so it would be all of the stuff from the 20s or 29, I think it was when the Steamboat Willie happened or whatever, and there's still a few before that even, and then all that leading up to when they bought the Muppets and Star Wars and all the shit.
Wow, yeah.
So they have a lot of things they even bought as well. So they might technically own the most things ever. So even though some people will be oh, I don't really need to watch Aladdin 17 times, but you can there's other stuff that actually might pile in to make it a really valuable service, but who knows what they have on there. But if it's their shows from the TV channels and stuff, it could be pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, plus if there's anything that's in the vault too.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff that hasn't been seen, or hasn't been purchasable in stores for a long time.
Or even gargoyles.
What was your favorite Disney movie?
Disney movie? Fuck, it's a great question. It's a great question. Growing up, actually was Snow White, as I was very little. Apparently, I watched that over and over again.
That's one I've never seen all the way through, or at least in my conscious memory.
Wow. I've never seen Sleeping Beauty, I think, ever. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I still got the trivia question right of what is the princess's name?
What is it?
Do you not know?
No.
It's Aurora.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that from Kingdom Hearts. I actually have a deep Disney knowledge because I know way too much about Kingdom Hearts. The one question we got last week was what movie is the whale-like creature Monstro from? Do you know that one?
What movie is the whale-like creature what?
Monstro from. I don't know why I said whale-like because it's a whale, but it's Pinocchio.
Okay.
And that's because it's straight up a world in Kingdom Hearts 1 and a boss in Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
But I just know a lot from a lot of it just retains because it's oh well, this is what it was in Kingdom Hearts and whatever. Yeah. And they don't refer to Sleeping Beauty as Sleeping Beauty, they refer to her as Aurora. So I just know that it's but I've never seen the movie.
Okay.
So I just know who these people are. It's weird. But my current favorite one, I don't even know. That's a great question. That'd be Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
It's pretty fantastic.
Which version? The new version or the cartoon?
Oh, definitely the cartoon.
Okay.
No, nothing about the no. Wait, crazy? Am I high?
Yeah.
They're doing that Aladdin one soon.
Like a live version of Aladdin?
They're doing a live version of Aladdin. They're doing a bunch of the live ones. They have the live Cinderella. They have a live Beauty and the Beast. They have a live Dumbo coming out by Tim Burton, which looks fucking lit.
Ooh, nice.
Looks pretty good. And they have a live Aladdin. They did the sequel to Mary Poppins is coming out. They were on Christmas. And then they did the sequel to Winnie the Pooh. And they did the Maleficent too with
Angelina
Jolie.
Yep.
Which was, I guess, just a retelling of the movie Sleeping Beauty, but from her perspective or something. I never saw that one.
Okay, yeah. Have you, this is somewhat related, but have you seen the Mega Millions jackpot? What
It's
it's
like
up to?
90 million or something, right?
No, 1.6 billion.
Oh boy.
And if you take the cash option, 970 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I spent $20 in lottery tickets in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're part of the problem. You're the reason that number's going up.
Oh yeah, totally. I bought mine like 10 minutes before the deadline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like the drawing's at 11 p.m. I bought mine at
Like tonight?
No, it was Friday nights and Tuesday nights.
Oh, okay.
So like last Tuesday, for example, I bought my tickets at like 10:38.
Did anyone win?
Nope.
If I won that much money, I'd be giving so much money away to people.
Yeah. Oh, you have to.
I just wouldn't be able to keep it. I don't even.
I mean, otherwise your relationships would be destroyed.
Yeah. I just wouldn't know what to do with it. Like I would pay off like loans and like buy a few like things I don't need, and then I would not know what to do. I would be like, "Hey, do you want $10,000 or whatever the amount is that the government doesn't have to tax? I think it's $15,000."
Oh, I have no idea. I'd give everyone a couple $1 million though. I mean,
I'd probably have to give people millions of dollars. Yeah. But like I know there's a number that you don't have to tell the IRS that you got.
Yeah, I don't know that number, but you are.
But there is a
correct.
number that's like a limit, and then there's I guess if you just gave someone $1 million, you could just be like, enjoy, just take it what you need. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I brought that up just because you were talking about how you retained, this seemingly useless knowledge.
Oh, it's very useless
from playing Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh.
Well, if I won the jackpot, I think I would fund the greatest, like medical. Like education video game you could ever imagine.
Oh, interesting.
Like, maybe we've talked about this a little bit
no,
before.
I don't think we have.
Like,
This is an interesting concept.
picture like Oblivion or Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
but you're like a physician in a hospital, right? Or you could start off like, even prior to that, as like a student, and just imagine how fun it would be to be like walking down the halls and like all of a sudden, like a cardiac arrest happens and you have to like walk into the room with your character and your avatar, and you have to like.
So like
listen to lung sounds.
Like a
and
full
like
simulation?
Right, full simulation, exactly.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, just because, I could probably draw a map of Tamriel from Skyrim from memory.
Yeah, and you don't need that information.
Right, and I don't need that information. And drugs, antibiotics,
Well, Tamriel's only in Oblivion. Let's just stop.
excuse me, right, Tamriel, right, and then Skyrim is its own province, right? I forget.
Just, don't need to get run over here.
Yeah, thank you. You receive all this hate mail. Like, this guy's an idiot. Doesn't even know his frost troll from his, mud crab. Like, come on.
I sure don't. I have no idea. I can't get into those Elder Scrolls ones at all. And I recently replayed some of the Fallout ones. I'm like, boy, these do not hold up. These are just so old now.
Oh, man. But anyways, yeah, it would just be so fascinating, because if I'm going to treat, like a a pneumonia caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae,
mm-hmm. As we all do.
Right, with, like an aminoglycoside, okay, or a macrolide.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting my own mixed up here. Like, that's no different than, attacking, I don't know, fill me in with some characters, like some, random...
In what?
I don't know, give me, a Final Fantasy enemy.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot here. But yeah, you get my point, though.
A behemoth. Behemoth's a big deal, usually.
Okay.
I don't know that's a big deal. I don't know. I honestly don't even know what you just said, so I don't know if there's an equivalent.
Oh, okay. Basically, I'm saying,
what is a... is it an entry level thing? Is it middle of the road? I don't know what you just said.
Okay. Yeah,
Which
right?
I now see what people think when I start talking about Kingdom Hearts. Like, no one has any idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah. But point is, if we can learn through the immersive experience of video games, all this stuff, like how to counter, I don't know, like an attack in StarCraft with a certain unit composition, there's no reason that you couldn't learn through the same medium, what the best treatment for a urinary tract infection is,
Oh, yeah.
Like, the concept is the same. The names are just as arbitrary.
Right, yeah.
So
it'd be kind of... Well, there's that one thing, the protein game thing. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's like I think it's a protein thing. And it's like some puzzle game that's like... It's rooted in reality, but it's not like blatantly like you're building proteins or whatever. And like things have been solved by like secretaries because they just sit in their office and they're just playing this little game. Okay. But like it's actually like has like real world applications.
Okay.
But like it's just a little silly puzzle game for most people. Like, I think the one with the highest score is like some house mom who just like does it when she has nothing else to do in the house. She's just goes around and does a little puzzle and like they've solved like diseases on this thing.
Sure.
But like anyone can do it.
Yep.
So I think that would be obviously that has parallels to what you're saying. You can just, if someone had a more in-depth, very clearly what they were doing, you could definitely, retain some weird knowledge and have I don't know why. I guess it's the interaction.
It must be.
The interaction visual combination. Like, I have no idea what allows a person to, like, retain so much about something that doesn't exist.
I don't know, but it's fantastic.
It's pretty fantastic.
Excuse me.
Like, you're right, though. We should find some ways, and maybe not us, because we're useless, but, like, real thing, people should find ways.
That's why I have to win the jackpot, Because no one's ever going to create this.
Oh, yeah, no, never. Because it doesn't sound like it would ever sell, and it might never.
Oh, it wouldn't.
But, like, if you just fucking walked into EA with $1 billion and, like, go fuck yourself, EA probably would be like, no, fuck you, we have more fuck you money than you do. But you walked into some smaller developer, like, with $1 billion, like, fucking let's go.
Yep.
I don't think that'd be enough.
Really?
I don't think so.
How much does it cost to develop a game these days?
A lot. Let's find the budget of Skyrim is bananas. I wonder if I could find it.
Wow.
Because, like, I forget, some games are fucking nuts. Like, it is
still amazing to me that they sell for $60 a pop.
That's actually
they're able to keep that price through all these years, despite how the cost of everything else has gone up, or seemingly gone up to an outsider like me.
Oh no, maybe it'd be doable. Apparently, the most expensive game ever made was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I would have never guessed.
What?
I would have never said that.
It sucks for the amount of money they put into it.
Yeah, we would have said the Old Republic, which is apparently third on the list, and that's 218 million with and Call of Duty is 285 million.
Wow.
With 2018 inflation, so obviously because that game was made years ago.
Right, and I wonder how much that is advertising budget, or if that's not factored in. If that's just development costs.
There's development cost here. There's marketing cost, total cost, and then total cost with 2018 inflation. I just read the 2018 inflation costs.
Okay.
So that is the total number.
Okay.
So I guess if you
that does include marketing cost then.
Yeah. So if you did roll in with a bunch of fucking money, they would totally do it. Oh, although the Star Wars Old Republic has nothing listed in its marketing cost.
Okay.
And that game got a lot, but I don't know how much of that was on BioWare and the rest of it was on Lucas or something, because it's the Star Wars brand who's the one punting the money into who gets the spout the word or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know how that might be why it's blank, because it was just like, well, we don't really know who spent the money, so. Because I don't think BioWare had that kind of money, or EA. I don't even know if EA had the kind of that money. That game got a ton of money put into it. I think like 100 or nearly half or a couple million or something, 50 million maybe, of the 200 I guess was put into just like the voice acting and stuff.
Oh wow!
They when that game came out, it was like kind of a meme how much money was being spent on it, and then when it bombed, it became even a harder meme of like, wow, look what all this money got you, and it's just like,
KOTOR bombed?
No, this is the Old Republic, which takes place before after KOTOR.
Oh, you're right. Knights of the Old Republic.
It's the MMO of that that timeline. I don't remember what side of it falls on, but because there's a Revan, whatever that character's name is, there's an expansion with him in it, or focused around him.
Yep.
So I'm not sure where it fell. I don't know if you like a time travel thing. I don't know. Who knows? But KOTOR does well. Or no, maybe that one didn't even do that too well. But the Old Republic had a way more money put into it than it actually ended up retaining.
Okay.
Because it was like not what people wanted. I don't even know really. I can't remember what people really wanted back then. I guess it was just a WoW with a Star Wars skin, and that's kind of what you got. And then it was like, wait a minute, we don't want this. We don't want this.
Are you still playing WoW?
I haven't lately.
Okay.
I was playing a whole bunch, and then with this job, waking up at 4:30 in the morning, it got kind of hard to do anything.
You just gotta wake up at 3 a.m. and play, Tom.
Yeah, that's what a real man does.
You're not dedicated.
Yeah, that's what a grind is for. Yeah. So no, I haven't played that. Although Maple Story 2 came out. Have you heard of Maple Story?
No, have not.
So I haven't talked about this on the show yet because I was talking about another thing, and then it came out right after I recorded it. It came out like last weekend. So Maple Story was like a little Flash game that a lot of kids played in like middle school. I knew of it and I didn't play it either. Fred did though, and he played a whole bunch of it. And then and when we were in college, he'd bring it up occasionally, be like, "Oh, Maple Story, and we used to do this, Maple Story, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I remember reading like Friday or whatever, maybe Thursday. I was like, "Oh, that Maple Story 2 is coming out in the West. It's been out for like 3 years in Korea where it's made." And I was like, "Oh, Fred, you gonna play it?" And he's like, "Yeah, maybe I'll download it, sure." And I was like, "All right, I'll download it too." So I downloaded it, and then we both were playing, and then it turned out to be 5 in the morning.
What?
We were having so much fun.
Wow.
It was such a blast. It is just a goofy little anime-looking game, but it has an incredibly robust and very, very liberal user-generated store.
Okay.
And you can make fucking anything.
Wow.
The first thing I saw was a hoodie just covered in hentai. And it was awesome. And like you can like you give them like, you buy like the in-game currency and then you trade in the store to buy it with the real people. Like the money goes to them.
Okay.
And then you buy a thing. So I have a Get Smoked hat. How many video games can you get that? The answer is none. The answer is none. I got a Get Smoked hat on. I was running around. Me and Fred went to a talent show.
Wow.
Because there's like in-game instruments where you can live play or like pre-record. So me and him sat in the crowd and watched a bunch of people play anime music as they came up. Someone played Despacito on a harp. It was the greatest experience of my life. It was so much fun. Oh my God. It was such a blast. I can't wait to, and we were just like, I was like, hey Fred, you want to get drunk and play this? He goes, all right. And we just got fucking hammered 5 a.m. and we just played through. It was so much fun. Just going around doing goofy things. It's like really got a cutesy art style. So like it's very, very simple and like nothing crazy is happening. So like, we like had like murdered like some killer tortoise and then went to this talent show in like some dude's house.
That's awesome.
The other day I was running around and I saw a little house. They can make like in-game housing. And so I saw this little house that looked like SpongeBob's little pineapple. Well, that's weird. So then I went to go inside it, and and it was a 1-to-1 recreation of the Krusty Krab. And so I walked inside, and there was a guy who had like this big square helmet on that made him look like SpongeBob, and a little like snail that walked around his feet named Gary, and then like 5 people in a semicircle around him on pianos playing Kingdom Hearts music, all out of sync. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe I just walked into this, and he just sat there in the middle dancing. It was amazing.
Wow. So I mean, it's been so long since I played anything. I don't know if I've ever played anything that immersive.
It was so weird.
Do people have like, is there voice chat capability now where like,
some games, yeah. We were just using
type
Discord.
Out everything.
Everyone was typing out stuff there, yeah.
Okay.
But like it kind of adds to it. Like when I was younger, like middle school, early high school, I started playing
RuneScape right now.
No, I was gonna talk about that's part of this story.
Okay.
So like I started playing WoW like halfway, like after Christmas of my freshman year. So leading into that, I couldn't play RuneScape on like 6th grade because my computer was dog shit.
You couldn't handle RuneScape?
My computer couldn't handle RuneScape.
Oh man, wow.
So we finally got a better computer and I played a little bit of RuneScape. But then I was also like, man, I wish this was more, because I wanted to have the actual like you push the button and the character moves type thing. And RuneScape obviously doesn't have that feature. So I was like, I'm gonna go looking around for others that are free that aren't WoW. So I've played every single fucking Korean MMO from like 2007 or even earlier, probably 2006, 2005 to like 2009. Every single Korean MMO that was free that you could imagine I played. And sometimes you'd get in there like, this is so much fun. This is such a delight. This is so great. And MapleStory was like bringing back those old vibes of like, I'm going to try this weird game I've really never heard of. Because like a lot of games now with MMOs specifically, they're all just WoW with a different color of paint. Coat of paint. So you get in there and you're like, I have a general understanding of how this works. I want to, my action bar is going to be like this. I'm going to move like this. We're going to do this. Like it's going to be pretty much the same, slight iterations here and there. So you can pretty much just get in, like you're like changing shoes. Like you're just sliding into a familiar feeling. This was insanity. Nothing made sense. It's in a weird isometric view. You can like climb on walls for some reason.
What?
Like you can use a controller, which is actually my favorite way to play this thing.
That's awesome.
So you like run around, you're hitting all, it's like super weird and super fun. I had so much fun. It was like actually being like 12 again, trying out some weird Korean MMO that's probably going to plague my computer and just being like, this is amazing. There's so much happening here. Wow. And like everyone was super friendly and like doing all this stuff. It's so wonderful. There's like little billboards that you can use the in-game currency to buy like time on. So like between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., your weird hentai picture is going to be displayed for everyone to see.
Wow.
Until someone reports it, and no one's going to. Obviously, no one cares. This is the community. Yeah. Everyone's so excited.
Yeah.
Like one of the mounts in the game, like usually what the mounts are like, they're like, it's such a weird thing because like I picked like a berserker, so I have like a big sword, and like I was like, okay, so it's like a fantasy setting. No, the first thing you do is go into like a major metropolitan city and get a car as your mount. And nothing made sense. I have no idea what's happening anymore with this game. And then like but then the other mounts I was getting were like little ducks that I could like ride on their head. And then I got something. I did something, and I got a body pillow with like an anime girl on it, and that's a mount. Your eyes get all wide and starry, and you just run real fast. And that mount is summoned instantly, so it's actually the best mount I have right now.
Wow.
So like the other one, you have to like do this little casting animation to make it show up. That one, you just pull out the pillow, get real excited, and keep running around. It's so fucking fun. I had so much fun. Like the discovery of like, there's a body pillow in this game. Like, how do we find it? Like, Fred and I neither looking it up. Just like, I have no idea. We got to figure it out. We got to go places right now. Oh, I had not had that much fun in so long. I don't know if I'll ever be able to recreate that fun week to week, but.
And so this is all the first Maple Hill, and then
this is the second one. This is the second one.
Okay.
This is the new one that came out now. Yeah. Okay. So we had just attempted I would just download. It's free on Steam right now, and anyone can just bop in whatever, and you can there's the crazy thing too is there is a premium version of it where it's $5 a month, and that was never pitched to me the entire time I was playing.
Wow.
They were just like, no, do it if you want to find it, you can find it. I was later looking up some video about it, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a premium pay service if you want it. I never usually these free to play games. That's the first thing they push to your face. Fucking spend your money. That never happened. I had to it took me more effort to find a way to pay money to get my Get Smoked hat than it should have. I was I don't know how to pay these people money. I just want to pay them $3 so I can buy the stupid hat. And it was pretty impressive that they're just no, just whatever you want, man. Just if you want it, it's here, but we're not gonna let you. We're not gonna really push it on you. I was this is really nice. I like this a lot.
That's great.
It's a delightful product.
Yeah.
Fully endorsed by your brain on Tom.
Wow. There you go. But new show intro, by the way, so good.
I had the intro for so long.
Yeah, I know. I've been a little busy.
It's fine. But actually, I was talking to someone had commented, it was Malcolm. He was like, hey, it'd be really nice if you had timestamps. So I was like, all right. And this was episode 12, 13, 14.
Yep.
And then episode 60, he comments on one of the videos, hey, there's timestamps now. I'm like, you motherfucker. They're here because of you. And that was fucking a year ago. What are you talking about?
Well, I'll tell you, Tom, the difference, maybe you haven't noticed it, but it's night and day between when I was first year.
Oh, really?
Now. I mean, you're comfortable. I mean, you were comfortable then, but you're getting so good at this crap. Yeah. It's I walk in the room, I'm like, is this Joe Rogan's office? Am I in the right building here?
Oh, stop.
So... I'm very, very happy for you, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Very proud of everything you've done so far.
That's cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's a nice thing. And I was who was I talking to? I was talking to someone recently, and I have just been a far better and healthier person with having this little thing to go on for. Yeah. I had this little activity that I have to, oh, I need to do this. It's not it's a need. It's not I want. So it's for other things I've worked on creatively in the past have been more well, I really want to do this, but you wanting it doesn't make it happen.
Right.
This is fuck, I really need to get that done.
Yeah.
And it's there's no real deadline, but I always feel like a piece of shit when I don't get one out every 7 days.
Okay.
So it's like being late with homework where it's it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it kind of stings. It's shit, I should have did that.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting.
Yeah, it's 6th grade when I cried when I got a mini strike. A vocab assignment because I didn't even know it was due. I think I was sick the day it was assigned. I was just bawling. I was like, teacher, I forget who my signature was. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It was 1/9 of having any potential consequence.
Right, yeah.
And
I was the same way as a kid. Well, I remember one time I slightly acted out and we had a similar to soccer cards, colored cards.
Okay.
I don't remember what the order was, but it was more than two.
We had these too, yeah, the yellow and the red.
There was a few more, so you had maybe 2 warnings, then a full red card or something.
Yep.
And I had to pull 1 card, and I was like, oh my fucking god, it's all over. I'm gonna go live in prison right now. I'm done. I'm just a criminal. I'm the worst. I don't remember what I did. I think I was just talking. I don't think it was anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't hitting a kid or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid.
I know. It's gonna be funny too to think back now that we're older and imagine what the perspective of our teachers was.
Oh yeah.
At us, because they totally can observe your behavior and say, wow, Tom really never acts up.
Right. Yeah.
This is so unusual for him.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And now that I'm working with kids, it's I see what I'm oh, that's what a 2nd grader looks like.
Yeah.
That's a small. That's not a person. That's a small half person. That's a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
You're so small. You're not. I remember being in 2nd grade and being thinking, you have your shit together. You got,
oh, yeah.
you know what's happening.
You always think you do, yeah.
And then you look at this and you're like, oh, you are the smallest person you could possibly be. Some of these kids, though, that I'd take a picture of, they are so small. And they have the tiniest little voice. And I'm I could, I feel if I even just use, both of my hands, I'd break you. You're so tiny. I'm just gonna trying to put a pre-K kid on a fucking on the feet so they're facing the right way. You're I don't know how to help you do this because one, your words don't mean things to you right now. You're so small. So how and they're just so tiny. And it's you a kid. There's kids that have like my 3 fingers are their arm. Like
Yep.
that's their whole width. And like, you are the smallest thing I've ever seen. And then the next kid in line's like, you're even smaller. How did you do this? How do you get smaller? Oh, it's insane.
Wow.
Kids are so weird. And like, they're kind of adorable too, though. Like I had one kid yesterday. What day is today? What's happening?
Today is Saturday.
It was yesterday.
The 20th.
It was the 19th.
Your
Soul Calibur
brain
Day.
on top.
And I'm like, and like they're standing in line, and I go up to meet one of the kids who always coming up. He goes, "You're old." I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm 25. Like, I'm like literally 20 years older than you." Like, how old are you? He's like, "I'm 7." I'm like, "All right, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you're very small. Like, I've been through a lot more than you have. But I guess I am old." But then the day before that, I had a kid be like, "You're very handsome." I was like, "Oh, you sweet boy, you sweet lad." Oh, it was so cute. It was just like, "Yeah, you're very handsome." And I had another kids too, because it was like me and this one girl who I've been working with a lot lately, because she like lives down the street. And they put you in like situationally, like where you are, location wise. Why is it on this table? And they like got like they got in line, and then the kid in the other line was like, "Oh, you got the cool guy." And I was like, "Oh," talking about the kids in my line. And I was like, "Oh, so sweet."
Wow.
But I'm just, and that's weird too. Is like I think this too has given me like way more confidence, because like starting this job, it was no like I was just like I'm just gonna do whatever. Like it's just the confidence is like weirdly just you just tell yourself it's just what it is now. Yep. It's not like a thing you have to work on, or even like it's just like you just choose. You're just like you decide like no, I'm okay. I don't need to be weird or uncomfortable right now.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was going to say it a little inappropriate, but I had a similar experience when I did like my first and only thus far pelvic exam. You know, like we were expected to just go in there with a preceptor as well as a classmate, you know, and do a pelvic exam. And you're like, wow, I guess like I really am on my way to learning to be.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know.
That's always weird too. Yeah, when you're doing something like professionally, like when I would do drawing, there would be naked models,
right?
And no one would say or react in any way,
right?
Because that was just how it was.
Yep.
That's just how we're going to do it. Like we're all doing art right now. Like you can't be weird,
right?
Because that's just how this is.
Yep.
And but like in it was like I remember when it first happened, I was like, whoa, wait, no one's reacting. So this is just how he is. All right, cool. that was it. It was just like, all right, it's done. Like that's. And it's like I have that too. And sometimes like a kid will be, I'll be like, "Hey, can I fix your hair?" And like, no, and like I don't even like this isn't like a weird thing. I just need you to fix it. Like I don't care how your hair like how or where like how like, I'm not thinking about like that. I just need to make the picture look good. Like please just let me like touch you for 2 seconds. I'm not even gonna get crazy. I just need to move it off your shoulder or something stupid. You know, like it's like and like no, I don't know. Like that's weird. I'm like all right, fine, fuck it. You have a bad picture then. I don't have time to worry about you. Like it's weird. Like yeah. Like I imagine the same thing with you, where it's just like you're gonna start to find yourself in places where you're like, normally this is really weird, but I'm doing a job right now, so it's not weird anymore. Yeah,
I mean, our program does a really good job of sort of gradating. I think that's the word. Like scaling up the difficulty level.
Oh right,
scaling up, you know, the immersion and how much autonomy you have. So, for example, this semester we're doing 2 nursing home visits where we have to do a history and a physical exam as well. So. You know, myself and my partner just walk into the nursing home and like, have you ever been in one, by the way?
No.
It's they're interesting for sure.
Imagine. Like, I hear they love to fuck.
What? Well, okay.
Nursing homes, they just love it.
I mean,
no inhibition, just fucking drop trow.
The lady
lay pipe.
We were interviewing, like, couldn't move her shoulders. So, like, I don't know.
That was a little insensitive.
How that would go.
No, apparently they have it's actually like somewhere near like a really high
rates of
STDs.
STDs.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I imagine this woman, maybe not part of that statistic, but it happens. Maybe it's retirement communities, maybe not nursing homes.
Maybe
I'm getting that wrong, actually.
Yeah, well, because like we went to an assisted living facility where,
that's different.
People still drive, have cars, you know, and so like if that's lumped in with but I don't know.
Yeah, I actually don't remember what it was. I think it may have just been, but I think it's funny just to think that old people love to fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're people, man.
Yeah.
People like to fuck.
Yeah, we always do, man.
Yeah.
We always do. But anyway, so, you know, you walk in and like, you know, at this particular one, at least when I was there, a lot of people aren't with it, either demented or, excuse me, you know, just cognitively not there. And so we go in a room, they give us the name of the person we're supposed to go interview. These people didn't really know that we were coming either. So it's just like, you know, but no one really cares.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's just, what else are they doing?
Right, exactly.
Like, We
That's true.
trudged to this nursing home with no direction, no supervision to go find this person to interview.
Wow.
And then we go to her room. She's not there. So we ask a nurse, oh, she's probably in the cafeteria. So we go into the cafeteria, go up to the woman, ask her if we can interview her, and she says no. So like, all right, like this is 25% of our grade, so.
Oh, like you had to.
Yeah, we had to. So we end up going back, trying to find another person.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to her room. She's not there.
Of course.
So we again go to a
Why would
different
she be there?
cafeteria. Right, but meanwhile, we're walking back and through the hallway.
Right.
And there are just these old people who are demented, like sitting in their chairs,
Mm-hmm.
And like every time we walk by, they like look up at you and smile and like wave and say hi, and you do back. And
Right,
then,
yeah.
So we talk to this other person, find her, bring her back to her room, and she's with her daughter.
Oh. So
now all of a sudden, myself and my partner are in a scenario where we're interviewing and examining a woman who we've never met before as, quote unquote professionals or paraprofessionals learning to do this. And they're trusting us with some very intimate details.
You need
of
no
their life,
supervision?
No.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I guess you've been in it for a while, so they probably trust you to know what you're doing in some aspect.
Right.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do with the PA stuff? Like, where do you want to take it next? Like, once you get the okay or whatever it is.
Yeah, so you get your license to practice as a physician assistant. For me, I'm not sure yet.
Is it like a career or is it a stepping stone to the full?
Oh, no, it's a career.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a career.
So that is where you...
There's only one program in the country right now that lets you go back to abbreviate the course to get your MD, or I think it's a DO program, so to be a physician.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want to do? You just want to do the PA?
Right, I think at this point just PA.
Okay. I guess that's true. You don't have to, decide.
Right. But as far as, specialty goes or specific field of medicine that I'm interested in, I'm thinking either primary care, maybe pain medicine.
Okay.
I shouted at a pain medicine clinic. That was very interesting.
What is that? Just opioids and stuff, or?
Yeah, so it's actually fascinating that not so much anymore.
I'd imagine, right?
Right, given
everything that's happening.
Yeah, and advances in technology too. So they do a lot of procedures to, you know a little about neuroanatomy, right? And how nerves are coded.
Oh, yeah.
Myelin.
Yeah.
Right, so insulation around the wire.
And that fades and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so you basically,
over time.
Right, they stick a needle in, they burn the myelin sheath, and then the nerve no longer can conduct the pain signal. And then, the machine is capable of telling whether
interesting.
It's sensory nerve or motor nerve, etc.
Right, yeah, I was going to say, that seems dangerous. But no, that seems way better then.
It's not dangerous, yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
that part goes numb?
Yep. So it actually doesn't go numb it does go numb, but you yourself don't feel a sensation of numbness.
Oh, you don't feel like the tingle, there's nothing there.
Because the tingling comes from superficial nerves,
and
most of the time these are much deeper nerves that they're burning or freezing. You can do it either way.
I assume it's the same result.
Right, so the result is you're pain-free for, however long it lasts for.
Well, they don't come back, right? The sheaths don't come back.
It depends on the person.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's a big problem with all sorts of stuff is as they degrade. Is it Alzheimer's is part of that too when they degrade? What was it?
Multiple sclerosis
That's
is
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the one where plaques develop on that part specifically.
No, there was something that if as they fade, it causes some horrible disease. But I don't remember what it was. I think it was mostly the ones in the brain, which obviously is what I would know.
Okay.
But I don't remember what it was. I think it was Alzheimer's. Those fade and then unwind. The actual strands unwind.
That sounds something. Yeah, I haven't.
I think it's Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Because I think it's because you forget how to just be a person, literally breathe and your heartbeat and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what kills you with it. So obviously you know this. I don't want to explain this to you.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the specific mechanism for Alzheimer's. I think you're right. I think it was protein denaturing and buildup of protein plaques.
I think it was that, and it starts to unwind, and then you just lose you actually lose the neuron to and the synapse of how to remember how to do that.
Yeah.
Even basic body functions and stuff. Which is why it's a terrifying disease, and I never know anyone that ever gets it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just the worst thing ever. Yeah. It is the most terrifying. And me, as a person who's very small physically, all I have is my noodle. And if it starts to just unwind, oh boy, we're going to have some problems.
Yeah.
I was driving the other day, and I think it was just exhaustion that caused this, but I go pick something with my dad my dad is at a Nissan dealership now instead of Toyota, and it's slightly down the road, but he needed to pick something from the Toyota place so he could work on my car because I have a Toyota. And so I was driving to the Toyota place, and then just blackness for a mile, and I was like, where am I? And I was like, just like a little bit further down, like, oh my God, I drove right past it. And I like turn around and stuff. I think I'm just super tired because like my week to week has just been so burning out, and I'm such an asshole and never want to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, oh, I'll just stay.
Well, you're not playing WoW and
right, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of. That's how it started. I mean, initially, right away when I first started, I was like, I can raid at 10 p.m. and then wake up at 5 or 6. I cannot. This is real painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm constantly fucking tired. Like I went to see the new Halloween movie today mm-hmm. with a coworker, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to go tomorrow?" Like as of yesterday, she's like, "Yeah, you want to go tonight?" I was like, "I gotta do something real quick," and then like, "But when I'm done, we can go." Mm-hmm. And so I was like 9 o'clock when it finished. Like, I'm done now. If you want to go, we can. It's like, I don't know, let's do it tomorrow. I'm like, thank God, I don't want to go. I'm so tired. Like, I'm so glad you said no. It's like I'm gonna die. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I'm just like so exhausted. But I like drove right past this place. I'm like, wow, this is really scary. I don't like this feeling of like things just vanishing. Like, yep. I hope this isn't some greater problem. It's just me being really sleepy because this is not a thing I like to experience. Just like driving past like just periods of black. Because that's the hate about the old job I had was like you go into autopilot a lot with either the work or even just the drive. I'm like, no, I want to try to remember every moment I'm having, or at least be using my brain and not like let it shut off because that like freaks me out a little bit. And yeah, just having that again, I was like, oh boy, this is weird. I'm just gone.
Wow.
But I think it's just being tired.
Yeah, I can't really comment on that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're welcome to.
No, I can't.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you're qualified, but you're welcome to say whatever you like.
Nope.
There is no restrictions on this show. Say whatever you need.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Well, it's interesting to me though how night and day this job is compared to your old job in terms of like relationships with your coworkers.
Dude, it's so weird. I keep telling people
you hung out with a coworker.
Dude,
you weren't sexually stalked by one. You actually got
right. Yes, I wasn't being harassed for fucking 6 months.
Yeah, like
it was weird. I was saying when I first started the job, I was talking to someone. I'm like, how is it? I'm like, well, it's weird. I like everyone I work with, which is a first.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like I actually enjoy the people I'm around. Very weird. And yeah, it's like so weird now. Like I actually am like hanging out and stuff. It's like it's the fucking weirdest thing in my life. Too bad it's like temporary and seasonal, but like it's been pretty nice.
Wow. When does it stop?
So the school we did on Friday, which was yesterday, the retake day is scheduled for the 29th of November. So I'm guessing like early December because I'm starting to do retakes as of this week.
Okay.
So if this is one of the last schools we do on the normal schedule, and then I would assume correspond with the retake schedule. So probably like early December it wraps up, and then we'll see where that goes from there. I'll probably find another gig.
Wow.
So, but there's a nice vacation from like desk jobs and like being exhausted or being hating everything. So
yeah, and you don't have to comment on this on air if you don't want to. But are you making more money than you were?
No, it's significantly less. Well, it's not significantly less. It's like $1 less an hour.
Okay.
But like the hours aren't as consistent, which is kind of a problem.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. I'm like enjoying myself there. And I bet like, and I'm actually like apparently really good at it. I don't know. It's weird. You're good at things. You're good at things you don't care about.
Quality, man. You're so money.
Like I just do what feels like the bare minimum. But like they did this thing and it was kind of shitty. They sent an email out, or one guy did, of like everyone's scores, so they like grade your pictures because there's like everyone should look identical in a school picture. You know, it should be
right.
You know.
Standard.
Right. They have a standard. Yeah. So they have a guidelines that you should follow. And like you're supposed to be graded regularly, and like no one I know has been like graded. And so like the one time we got graded, they like sent a mass email with everyone's scores on it. And I was like third behind two people. One dude's been there for 17 years, and one girl has been here for like 2 now.
Heck yeah.
And so I was like, I can't remember the last time I got a 91 in anything.
Wow.
And like I was talking to one dude, and he's like, "Yo, dude, 91, nice." I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to be like this. Like, I don't want like people to know this is kind of weird."
It's great.
I like it. I like being better than people when they agree to getting dunked on by me, but when it's like unintentional dunking, it feels weird.
Tom, but you have to remember, you didn't ask for that evaluation.
Sure, I didn't. You know? It just happened. It was very weird.
Yeah, you're good at it, man.
Apparently. So, my point in saying that, not to just brag and jerk myself off, but
I think no one thought that. That's not what you were doing.
I potentially could argue for more money in upcoming seasons if I stuck it out. Is my point. So maybe it would ultimately work out to be like a better experience overall, like all around. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, and those are probably formal too, so that way you could probably take those with you if you had a CV or a resume or.
Oh right,
or
yeah,
I guess a portfolio would
Yeah.
probably be the more appropriate.
Yeah, there's probably some way to
term
do
to
that.
use.
I don't even know. I didn't really think of that too much. Like it's funny. Everyone too that I work with is like super into photography. Not everyone, but most people are.
Classic case. Like, boy, I really want to be a doctor. Sucks at medicine. Like, boy, I really want to be a baseball player. Worst baseball player
That's
ever.
what I think.
Boy,
is,
I hate baseball. Hits like 50 home runs a season.
That's what I was going to say for a second ago. Is like it's funny that you always do super well at the stuff you don't really super try at. Like if you're really trying, you usually fuck up somewhere. But if you like are just like, hey, whatever, it like super works out in your favor for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like I hate it. It's just like, oh, I don't really like the first few weeks I was taught how to do it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do that over and over again. If I'm doing it wrong, I'll just adjust. And apparently that's been a good strategy.
God, you're so quality, Tom. I was having this. You remember Duffy, right?
Oh yeah.
I was having a conversation with him the other day because he just got back from a pretty exciting 92-day cross country road trip.
Hot damn.
Yeah, he took some time off from work.
That's fun.
Yep. And while he was still on his parents' health insurance, if you're gonna travel across the country,
Right, might as well.
Yep. But he's sort of similar to where I don't think that so many of us realize just how quality we are. Like, think back to landscaping, how many people just didn't show up, or like people suck. Like they really do.
That's the weird thing too. This job, they keep talking about people, like especially when we started out, they're like, oh, people who don't show up and da-da-da and this and that, like all these shitty people.
Yep.
Everyone from my training class, except for one dude, had to get fired because he had a felony charge. They've all been totally fine.
Good.
But that one dude's felony charge is really funny.
What is it?
He was like a really nice guy, but he looked very scary, and everyone used to kind of joke about that. And the one kid that I'd been talking to, he keeps referring to him as Gun Show Joe because he was super fucking jacked and like roared it out. But he got like arrested for like $1,000 in like food stamp fraud or something, like something super lame. Oh boy, rough. But it was something like super. Like when I heard he had a felony, had to get fired. I was like, whoa, thinking like he did like some robbery or like some kind of like assault thing or like whatever, bank robbery, something crazy because he's this big dude. No, it was like he faked like money somewhere. And I was like, oh, and like we found, me and a coworker were like talking about it. And she pulled up the article of his like guilty charge or whatever, or guilty plea, and it was like $1,000 or whatever it was. I'm like, what? At least go hard in the paint with this. Like, if you're gonna get a felony charge and lose a job, you might as well have made it worth it.
Yeah.
Have a story behind it. He's a really nice guy, though. I really like him. I hope he comes through with this one.
Yeah.
Hope he pulls through. But what were we saying? We had something there, and I broke away. Oh, you're talking about being quality people and the landscaping people.
Yeah. Right. But just, underestimating. The fact that A, we show up for work on time. B, we want to be there and get the job done and have a professional attitude. Those two things right there.
Yeah.
It's that you leagues above so many.
Yeah, it's weird. 'Cause my dad keeps saying that. Like when I was at my old job, I was like, I don't really like this, and like I don't know, I don't really want to do this anymore. Blah blah blah. And he's like, well, you show up every day, and like that's a huge deal. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because I just like it's ingrained in me as it's what you do.
Well,
it's not like a question.
Go back to elementary school and like the mini strike thing and the card thing. It probably all traces back that far.
It's weird. Yeah, I guess so. Right? It's like ingrained in the person.
Yeah.
That's a weird concept that you might be born with like that.
Yeah.
Mentality.
Yeah. Well, I had an internship in college where I taught for like the 4-H Earth Club.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because the guy he was like an executive director of a nonprofit who started this club, blah, blah, blah. And he quit being a college professor in part because of differences with the administration and in part because he realized that if you want to make a change or impact people, you have to start at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we get to college, it's already too late. Like most people have already formed their opinion, formed who they're gonna be. I
guess it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was so interesting because I'm seeing in like my education now how much extra knowledge I could have come in with had I started learning medicine back in high school.
Oh right.
Like there are some people in my class who have been like doing medical stuff since they were 18.
Right.
And it's amazing the difference as to how much more prepared they are, how much more knowledge they have.
Oh, right, yeah. Because you're like, but like, who the fuck? There's so few people who are like, by 18, like, yep, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, that's such a, like, even if you guessed right, that's so fucking crazy to be 18. Like, I remember being like 18, having the conversation with my parents, like, where to go to college. I'm like, I don't fucking know. And like, it's kind of fucked up. You have to like make this like life-changing decision. Yeah. And you've never really been in even like the workforce or in the world at all.
Right.
Like, you have no idea what you like and don't like. And like that's fuck. They're like, I kind of get. I don't want to beat you right now. Like I remember them saying that. Like I don't envy you. Like this is a tough choice. And they have like family members and stuff. Like when they have like parties and stuff, they'd come over and be like, oh, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of tough. And like it's kind of a weird situation you're in. I'm like, I know. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah. Well, it's weird too. The expectations that people have. Like if you answer at a party to an adult, well, I don't really know. I think I'll take a gap year.
Oh, they're gonna be like, you're an asshole.
They look at you like you're an asshole.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
But like that's the most.
But if you
like,
say I'm gonna be a doctor, even if I have no idea that's what I want to do, everyone worships the ground you walk on. You know.
But for 2 seconds, then they leave. They don't think about it ever again.
Right.
And that's the part that I had to realize is like I realize now, but as a kid, I wish I kind of had a better picture of like. Yep. Because that was kind of it. Like I went to the school with the name, and the 4 years got the desk job. People go, so when you ran into someone, they go, oh, nice, and then move on.
Yep.
But it wasn't like, because what I really initially wanted to go into school for was film. But I was like, I don't know. I don't really have anything filmed yet. And I'd have to make something. So I'd probably have to take a year to do that, to get the thing that you submit to school or whatever.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot. I don't know. And I really got to, from what I know, you have to jump into it. So I was like, never mind. No, I won't. I'll just go to the school with the name. And my grandfather had gone to Siena. So I was like, all right, this will just be like a thing that makes sense. And it was just a wrong call. It's just the wrong call. There was really, besides the people I've met, no benefit.
Wow.
I'm actually thinking when this job ends, looking into like doing like casework or something to kind of make my degree like actually work for me in some aspect.
Well, it's funny you mention that, 'cause my mom she's director of a social work organization, or at a social work organization, I should say.
Oh, interesting.
We can talk more, yeah. Usually they hire people with social work degrees, but I mean, Andrew...
Yes.
Did he study social work or was he a psych?
He was in my psych classes, so...
I think he might have been psych, but he...
It's a social science, though, so like that's...
the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll take anyone as long as, again, you're reliable.
Right, yeah. That's what my mom was saying. Like, there's a lot of... They're just looking for people with bachelor's degrees in social science, because she does... she's in there, but she doesn't work with, like, that direct... She works with the people that would be hired. Like, I think she works with the caseworkers, not doesn't manage them. She just interacts with them. She's like, they're very much looking for people with bachelor's degrees in social science. They don't care how it is.
Yeah.
So I might do that and just kind of try to find a thing that would pay a little bit more with my degree type.
Yeah, well, I mean, my mom... She just sold a bunch of contracts. So they're hiring.
Nice.
So we'll talk.
Oh yeah, let's talk. Let's
after
get that.
This, yeah,
we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because that's the one thing. Because I started.
I never realized that'd be something you'd be interested in.
I mean,
because she's asked me so many times if I knew
really?
Andrew. Like I don't even know if I have his number, but if he wanted to come back.
Oh, interesting. Because I was at a birthday party, and I was like, let's fucking go. But like I was the only one that was invited that showed up. And so like the mood was kind of low when I first got there. I was like, oh damn, let's do shots. And like I tried to I was like,
wait, a birthday party and you were the only one who showed up?
Like yeah, I was the only one of like, so it was like a I'm not gonna say who it was, but the people. And like so they like live together or whatever. You might be able to interpret this.
I hope I didn't miss a birthday party.
No, yeah, you weren't on the initial list of people. It was like me and like two other people.
Oh yeah.
So the other two didn't show up, and they were like, "But when I showed up, and they're like, oh, cool, you showed up." Like, and then they were like, "Man, that the other two aren't." They even like, well, one didn't even respond. The other one like fucked up real bad and was like, "Oh, I thought it was the other day," and was being dumb.
Yeah.
And so like they're like, "Oh man, this kind of sucks." And I was like, "Fuck, I guess I have to really raise the fucking bar here." And like it was
stand
like
up act.
Yeah, I was like I had to be like, I'm just gonna be the one. So I like started getting real like just like commanding the room with like joy and be like, everyone fucking drink hard and let's take shots and stuff like that. And then after everyone got drunk, I just played therapist for fucking like 2 hours. Like everyone was just like, oh, this is my heart's going through. I was like, oh really? And they just like I genuinely care about these people, so I was asking questions. But like when I like to think about it later, like they were revealing a lot of deep things I would have never really known. Yeah. So like I clearly have some kind of ability to reach to people and like make them feel comfortable in some way. So I should probably utilize that in some way. And then like I enjoy being in a more social aspect, like environment, like I am with my current job. Yep. So I think that would be a decent match in kind of a casework, social work thing, and kind of do that instead of just sitting at a desk or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, some of her people, they work with kids. You bring the kids around to do stuff or do activities.
Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of things. So
yeah, and the kids are fun. Kids are fun to hang out with.
Yeah,
they're kind of goofy sometimes, but they're fun. Like it's weird. Like I don't really often get like a couple times I've had like the sales rep guy. He'll go and like make sure that we're all set before like he'll show up to our schools and like hey, it's everything going? Help you set up and then go. And one of the schools I went to, he was like so last year someone had a pretty big meltdown here. So just be careful, be aware of that. And then when I was like, oh wow, that's weird. And I started doing the school. I was like, oh, I see. This is horribly unorganized. So I understand why this person may have exploded. And like, but I could just I was kind of like, frazzled. Like, okay, hang on, what do I gotta do? Figuring this out. Like, doing quick, like, solving quick problems that would arise in like one class. Like, you have to get these like little cards that like puts them in the system basically.
Okay.
And like this one class had none. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Why someone would lose their fucking mind?
Right.
So I have to have you, and they have to be written in a very specific way. And like 90% of people always do it wrong. You can go right up to them and go, this is how you fill it out. Turn your back, and they'll hand you a card that's completely wrong. Like, well, I'm redoing this, and so it gets like kind of hectic sometimes.
Yeah.
And then like, while that was happening, another class was waiting. I was like, I can see how someone exploded here, but like I was able to kind of keep it together. I mean, I didn't shout at all. Just kind of like rolling with it.
You kept it together.
Yeah, I kept it together. I don't know, I kept it together. So I guess I don't really mind. Like, I always thought like, oh, kids would be like a lot, and like they're gross and sticky and weird. But like, no, it was, like I was able to, hold my own in a intense situation. And like, one school we went to, it was 2 hours north. It was in Tupper Lake. Have you been there?
I've not.
It's a cute little town, but whatever. It's
wait a minute, Tupper Lake? Yes.
It's 2 hours north of here. And so I had to go like the night before. We stayed the night, whatever. And we get there, and they were like, okay, go to this room. And then the guy I was with had done it last year, and he was like, that seems wrong. It seems like the wrong place. So then he like looks around, and he's like, oh, we're definitely supposed to be on the stage. And the stage was like on the other side of the school, and like we had only like very short amount of time to set up, and like equipment started breaking, and it was like a quote unquote like the worst possible day.
Right.
And the guy I was working with was like, I really like your like no care demeanor, like you're very like calm, you've got it, you got it all together. I'm like, it's because I don't care. I don't care. Like if the pictures get done or not, I don't die. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
So I don't. It's like it's not. He's like, that's a good way of looking at it. I'm like, all right, sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just like I don't. It's weird because like I'll get like very heated and emotional about things that don't matter, and then things that matter in quotes I could care less. Like fucking my job going well or whatever. It's like oh well. Who's gonna yell at me? No one. It's weird. I don't know. I'm a weird person sometimes.
As are we all.
It's true. There's no normal really. I don't think there's any such thing. Everyone's so, especially like. I think with years and years of like poor mental health like management, everyone was raised with some kind of like some form of trauma in some way that like they don't really even maybe don't even know existed, and like it makes them have some weird quirk or some weird they're weirdly neurotic in some way or about something, and it's like someone looks and that guy's really weird because of this reason, but like you probably are weird in some other way too, or whatever,
I was about to say, we all have skeletons in our closet.
Right, yeah. And like you never know what like how much of that like matters in some way or whatever. Like I had a third grade teacher die, and I think that like now I think back at it, I think it's caused like a lot of the way I act in certain situations, I think is like rippling effects of that happening. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
So you were in this third grade class?
Yes. She didn't die in the class, so it was like a Friday. I was like, see ya. And she was like, deuces. And then she died like that night.
Wow.
But like, I don't remember my third grade.
Gosh.
Like it's all black. And my mom was like, you ask my mom about it, she'll be like, it was this horrible situation. It was very hard for everyone involved. And I have no memory of it.
Wow.
And so I wonder, like certain aspects of my personality are ripple effects of like that whole event. So like, it's weird.
Yeah, it could be.
It's possible.
It's so funny that you mentioned that though, because literally on my list of topics to talk about, should we run out of topics to talk about, the last one is death.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
This has been on my mind.
Really?
My classmates, yeah.
Well, I guess you are like in it, right? You see it probably more than most people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not now, but
right. Well, when I worked in the hospital in the ER.
Oh, right.
That's right.
You did work in the ER, yeah.
Yeah. The preclinical stuff,
or
the pre-PA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now we just learn about it.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I've maybe learned like, I don't know, 1,000 ways
to die.
Just someone to die. Yeah.
Like, you could write a season of that show.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty intense, though.
It's not good. Or just ways for like your quality of life to suck. Like.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And the way the textbooks do it, it's always so dry.
Oh, right. Because they have to be.
Right. Like today I was reading about something where like basically you progress to like complete kidney failure in like 6 to 10 years after like the random onset of this. And like it's not something that's predictable. Like you can't prevent it. Like you just get a virus someday and all of a sudden your kidneys start failing. And then 6 to 10 years later, you either need a kidney transplant or dialysis.
Whoa.
Or you die, and that's it. And I mean, that's just one example of, probably millions of.
And you just can't stop that.
conditions.
It just has to happen.
Right.
It's so terrifying.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, some of the diseases I learn about where either we don't know how to treat them, or like some of this kidney stuff I was learning about today, like I won't get into what specific one, but like spontaneous remission, like if you did nothing, you'd get better in some people,
right?
Or some people go the other way and progress to death.
Whoa.
And I mean, it makes you question,
right.
I don't know if you're religious or not, but wonder about God.
Right.
And,
What is like, yeah.
Right. Like how does that happen to some and not others?
Right. Yeah. What's the deciding factor? That's why I think karma kind of came up as a concept, because it's like there is no reason to think that, there's no logical reason for stuff like that. So you have to come up with like this, what seemingly is a fantasy concept.
Yeah.
To make it make sense. Yeah.
Or my favorite story, I think, of the semester, it was a news story. It was awful, but hilarious, but awful. One of those uniquely human stories where a guy was waiting in line to get fast food. I think he was at a Jack in the Box drive-thru.
Yeah.
And he reached down to like get his change or whatever, and his foot got stuck on the accelerator.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
you know how some of the fast food places have like that like bump out?
Yeah.
Like there's the drive-thru window that bumps out.
Yeah.
And then there's like that second like building.
Yeah.
Part that bumps out. He like cut his head off.
Oh my God.
Like
Jesus Christ.
He like
oh
was
my God.
getting his Jack in the Box,
Yeah.
gets his foot stuck on the accelerator, and then dies,
Whoa.
Like, oh honey, I'm gonna go get some Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
Like,
something so mundane.
I know.
It just, wow, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah, and you have no idea.
You have no
like
way
your
of controlling
third grade
it.
teacher.
Yeah. I think it was just like, it stopped. Life just stopped. Like it was like in her sleep or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's over.
I know. I've wondered if people have like a common experience before they die that because you die, you can just never share with anyone,
interesting.
So like,
yeah.
like I wonder if there's some way for your brain, because like how could this all end?
Isn't that weird?
I mean, we're so conscious and we experience so much for it to all just fade away.
Right, yeah.
And unpredictably and, without preparation.
Yeah, that is weird, right? It just stops.
Yeah.
And it's not even like someday, it's at any moment.
Right.
Like
at any moment. Yeah.
At any moment, it just ends.
Yeah.
And that is kind of horrifying, but also like, I don't know. Like, does the textbooks you're reading have like statistics of like, and this happens in this many cases?
It's essentially a stats book.
Okay. So that's a little bit better than like the raw, just like, and your kidneys can just stop. And you're like, what? And it's like out of this many cases. And you're like, okay, that's a little bit less terrifying.
Right.
Because like, yeah, if you're just giving like a raw description of what that is, that sounds like the worst thing ever that could happen. That will literally happen to everyone.
Yep.
But then if it's like, oh, it's 30% of, now that's too many. Probably even less than that. Probably.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay. There's a more reasonable number.
Yep.
Oh, that's terrifying though. Man, it's terrifying and like, I don't know. Also, you can kind of just be like, put your hands up and kind of let it happen, because you kind of have to
accept it. Right. Yeah. What else can you do?
Because there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. I mean, my grandfather he gives out these business cards that are very politically incorrect and inappropriate. But he has one that says cute. Like lifetime is from birth to death. And it has a picture of baby on one end and a coffin on the other. It's
an adorable old man thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. And he says that the ultimate goal of life is to prepare for death.
Oh, interesting.
So for him, that's going to church every Sunday. That's leading a good life.
That's a very old school way of thinking.
Right. But even think about when you go to bed at night, you never know if you're going to wake up, and you trust the process to fall asleep.
It's true. It's true. You never know what's going to stop it.
Right.
I just watched the original Halloween and then went out to see the new one today. And he's just a guy who just murders people. There's no rhyme or reason to why he does it. He just shows them into people's houses and fucking murders them. And in the newer, I know the older sequels, they try to give it a reason, but in the original one, in this one, there's no reason. He just does. It's not like he's related to anything or does anything. He just murders people. That could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Someone just could enter your home and fucking murder you.
Yeah.
And he's dead. Oh well, it's game over.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah. That's why I always wonder about certain concepts like a reincarnation or ghosts or stuff like that. Is that just ways for us to cope with the eternal darkness that is awaiting us or something?
Right.
That must be why there's everyone's so dedicated to the God and religion thing. It's this sounds way better and is way more fun than it all just goes black.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
I know.
It's kind of spooky.
It's like, what's the point then of even any of this happening?
Right. And there's no way for you to know, and there's no way for you to know if you left like a legacy or anything like that.
Right.
Like I know.
Well, what's the point of your legacy if everyone's just gonna die anyways? You know.
True. That's true too. Yeah, that's a good point. Oof. That's getting heavy. I don't know. It's some people leave a big enough one. You know. Like I know. Like I was just hearing because the Columbus Day just happened.
Mm-hmm. Don't you mean Indigenous Peoples Day? No.
Well, in aspect of him, he tried to go on another expedition right before he died, so he could leave a legacy.
Yes.
And then he has a day named after him. Like it's kind of crazy that he always had one but never thought he did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fast. That's like that could happen. Then that kind of sucks. Like,
yep.
You know, you could be like, oh man, I've not done enough, or I haven't done anything, but you've already you've had a huge impact in some aspect, but you don't even realize it. Or like some of these artists who don't get famous till after they die.
Yeah.
It's like, that sucks. You fucking suffered for so long, and then people started being like, oh, actually, this is pretty good. Like, that blows.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It is. How have you been feeling overall, though? You've been feeling pretty good?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, like colds and stuff, because kids are gross and sticky, but honestly, like mentally and like emotionally, way fucking better.
Wow.
And it's like kind of like spooky how much better I feel.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I feel so much happier, and like I like being around like people and stuff. Like, it's nice, like, cause like especially after I quit that job, I spent like maybe a month and a half, 2 months not really having a job.
Yep.
And like that was like in pure isolation because I didn't have money to go out.
Yep.
And like, you know, I didn't have a job to go to, so I didn't have a thing to go do, and I didn't have I couldn't really afford to put myself into a situation where I could go somewhere else.
Right.
So I was just like in total isolation, and like maybe that's like this is a almost reflection of that, of like here's the dramatic opposite, where it's like now you're always around people and you're always doing stuff, you're always interacting, so it feels way better. But like it's been like, oh boy, this is like I feel so much better, just like emotionally and like mentally, just like, oh man, that's great.
Yeah,
like,
you look better, you sound better, your skin's clear.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know, your hair looks great, you look great.
Oh, thank you. Well, apparently a 7-year-old thinks I'm very handsome, so I take that one very seriously.
When are you two going out?
Oh, God, that sounds horrible. Could you imagine if I just had an answer? Oh, God. No.
I was trying to bait you there.
Trying to capture you in that, NAFTA? What is it? I don't know what it's called.
NAFTA? What?
That's the boy love one. It's probably NAMBLA then, because boy love. You ever heard of this group?
No.
It's like some like activist group of like, no, pedophilia is totally cool, bro. And everyone's like, what are you fucking talking about?
God, oh, Tom, I heard the saddest.
I'm hoping by the build-up here, it's not that sad.
Reflection on the human condition in American society today.
This is fascinating.
It's a Reddit thing, Tom. If I have to go to Reddit, you know this is whatever. But one of my classmates was telling me about incels.
Oh, yeah. You've never heard of incels?
Have you heard of this?
Oh, yeah. They're a nightmare.
Oh, Tom.
They're the worst thing ever.
God.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
It's so
terrible. Explain incels to me from your perspective.
What's the term? Celibate by choice?
Involuntary
celibacy. That's what it stands for. Yes, they're the worst. They're very, very mean.
Yeah. I mean, my gut reaction was so it's men or women who
mostly men. Probably 100% men
who have just given up on getting laid or prescribe their difficulties getting laid to other people.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. It's usually that it's not their fault. It's women are the worst, and they won't sleep with me.
Wow,
it's fucking gross, and
that's
like
disgusting.
It's real gross, and like I've seen like there's a lot of people who make fun of them online, which rightfully so. They're fucking children.
Yeah, that's how well, no, I never even felt like that when I was a child.
And I meant they are like that. They're being babies. More what I'm saying. Like they're whiny and being, you know, like I deserve this type thing.
Right.
Yeah. Because as a child, I couldn't care less getting laid. But like, yeah, there's like people who like, is it? I think there's like a subreddit that has like basically screenshots of like incels like reacting negatively, and there's another one called "nice guys" in quotes, where it's like, why do all like, you know, where it's like I'm a nice guy and it's like fuck me right now, like stuff like that. Like in Tinder messages, girls will post like their nice guy responses where it's like, oh, like some guy will be like, hey, how are you? And then don't respond for like 8 minutes, and it's like, you fucking whore, I hate you, go fucking die. And it's like, whoa, okay, nice guy. Like, you know. It's or like they'll have like in their like their bio be like, I'm a really nice guy, and then that's like their reaction, stuff like that. And it's like, oh man,
wow,
it's intense.
I know. I feel so bad for just the course our society has taken. I don't know. I'm a big proponent I shouldn't say proponent because I've never really done anything other than had conversations with people. But I mean,
you're making a huge difference.
Yeah, right. Not really. I don't know. I've always believed you can change your own station in life.
Oh, I definitely can.
Through your actions. I mean, I did it in my own life.
Yeah.
But
it's the American way.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, honestly, that's what the core of that is anyone can change at any point.
Yeah.
We have no caste system.
Right, and you have the opportunity to change, the freedom to change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think actually it's funny we got to this because I hadn't looked at this. One of the topics I'd written down was, if you think the American dream is still alive, I mean, do you feel like you have that opportunity in your life?
I think so. I think the American dream is more alive than it ever has been.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear you say that because I remember in our Facebook group chat, like Steve and people saying like, "Oh, the American dream is dead. It doesn't exist." I'm like,
no, it totally does.
What are you talking about? Like,
with the internet, the American dream can be realized by you can have a group of people support you who live in England.
Yeah.
They don't have to be here. They don't have to be in your town.
Yeah.
It's anywhere. You can always thrive anywhere from anywhere. Like one of the major places that listen to this show, weirdly, is Tokyo, Japan.
What?
More than Albany.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That's awesome.
It's super weird. I don't know how that happened, but I was looking at my statistics, and they're ahead of Albany. I know no one who lives in Tokyo. I know more people who live in. I know a ton of people who live in Albany, and more people in Tokyo listen to the show than in Albany.
Wow.
So that's weird, right? But that wouldn't happen if the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
So there's no way that
Yeah. Have you listened to Joe Rogan's interview with Dan Bilzerian?
Yes, that guy's really fascinating.
Oh my god,
that's a fascinating individual.
Yeah.
I love people who just made millions of dollars with poker and gambling. I think it's so fascinating.
Yeah. And I love how he's like, yeah, man, it's just such a different lifestyle. He's like, yeah, I was at the Cannes Film Festival. I think I fucked 16 chicks in 12 days or something like that. I'm like, what an interesting way to live,
It's so weird. It's so different. Because that's not, very few people can even get to Cannes. There very few people get invited.
Yeah.
Just even that alone is that's a very fascinating, but he can just do that. He can just travel anywhere he wants and
right. And
do whatever he wants.
He just decided, I remember his story. He's like, yeah, my girlfriend of 2 or 3 years had broken up with me, and I was like, I'm just going to be the biggest baller ever,
and he just can.
Did.
It's weird. Yeah. But you can just do it. And that's the weirdest thing about everything in life is you can just do it.
Yeah.
There's at no point are you get stuck in oh fuck, I gotta do this thing. And but if you're in a negative place, when I was at the desk job and it was the same day in day out, you get caught in a cycle of nope, nothing can get fixed. This is just how it is.
Right.
And then you have to break yourself away from that, and it's hard because I probably spent I can't imagine the amount of times I called my mom just being I need to quit this place. She's like, you really can't, blah, 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 the loan, da, da, da. And I was like, I have to fucking leave. I can't do this. And she's like, you really can't. You should. I think you should, but you got to figure out how to do that. You can't just stop.
Yeah.
And my dad would be the same way. You can't just stop. You can't just not have a job. You got to have an answer. And then eventually it just kind of, although when I quit, I did have a job, but it was really shitty. And I just left that I left that literally day after day.
Right. Yeah. I remember that story with the,
yeah. So I left under the correct way, but then still did nothing. Which ultimately was fine, but that initial I need to get out of here, and then you break that cycle, and I ended up in almost as bad of one with being when you're very much always inside, you're always in your own head, you're the only person you interact with. Yep. You can get kind of weird and crazy.
Oh yeah, you lose perspective. It's so easy to lose perspective.
Yeah. So once now that I'm out of that completely and doing a lot more, it's way more healthy and more. I think everything is just better overall. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely just being inside all day, just being alone, just being this is what I do. It's it sucks. It's not very fun.
Yeah.
And it's weird too because I've occasionally done that. Right after college, I think I spent 2 months doing nothing. And just being oh, awesome, I have no job, no college, I can just play video games all day long. It's the greatest. And that stops being fun almost immediately.
Yeah.
And it's oh, this is just too much. And then, having that again with this, although it was kind of nice when I had initially quit and left everything. My mom was like, you know what? You haven't had even a vacation since you literally stopped going to college. That graduating college, that couple months break you had before you started this job, you haven't had any time off. Just consider this a mini vacation. I was like, all right. And then I could kind of make it a little more healthy where it was I'm just taking a break. So I took a week where I just did nothing.
Yep.
Just worried about keeping myself healthy and happy and stuff like that. And it was way, way better that way. But I don't know. When's the last time you took a vacation? You seem like a very active person who doesn't let that happen too often. You get distracted. Realize you haven't had a week off to yourself.
Yeah. That's a good question. I went down to New Jersey for 3 days. Okay. I haven't made enough money to take a
solid
full real vacation. Yeah. And being a student, PA school we have vacations like
Mhm.
breaks,
Right.
but typically we still have to do some work during them.
That's
So it's
you're
not
in a
true
break right now, right?
vacation. Right. So yeah,
Mhm.
but I was studying all day. Today,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
'cause we have a test Monday, so
Right.
it's, you know, and I went down to New Jersey for a couple of days with some friends, and
That's nice.
yeah. What I've been trying to do lately, and something that I want to talk with you about too, is,
Mhm.
and this relates back to what we were talking about earlier as well. I sort of find more meaningful and wholesome things to do just during the regular day,
Hmm.
you know?
What is the definition of that?
Well, I noticed, I mean, you said during you could only, you know, sit and play video games. That was only awesome.
Yeah.
Had flavor for like a week,
Right.
you know? I mean, you think that would have been different when you were 16?
No.
You feel like it would have lost flavor after a week
Probably,
or so?
yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
Interesting.
I never really had an opportunity where that happened for an extended period of time either.
What about like your summer vacations though, from school?
I mean, you find things to do. You know, your family goes away or something like that. It wasn't like you just sat alone or by yourself.
Okay.
You always had something I was kind of doing at
Okay.
the same time. But, and like when I was in school, like high school and stuff, my mom stayed at home. So she'd often be like, yeah, let's go do this other thing. Like she wouldn't like let us just gestate in our own fluid. Like, we'd have to go out and do stuff. So it was less, there was less time of like, it was like that, you know, no, would you have that too as a kid or?
Yeah, I mean, once I was 16, I worked during the summers, and I always enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I always found that to be very fulfilling. But I mean, I guess I was just thinking back to like, I mean, for me, how I used to play, like, for some reason lately, I've been craving Skyrim or Oblivion, like so much so that I've been listening to the soundtracks while studying.
There you go.
But you know,
There it is.
I just know that as soon as I would sit down to play them, I would just probably feel empty. You know.
Well, like, so I was just watching, are you familiar with Day 9? I feel like I bring him up often with you because he's an absolute brilliant human being.
Day 9. You've brought him up before, but I don't.
Yeah, he's an old StarCraft pro who then
Yes.
went to streaming all that stuff. He had a video, and I'll send it to you because it's very fascinating. And he was like kind of coming up, he was feeling kind of shitty. You know, he's got the dream job to most people. He streams video games pretty much full time, and he gets to like host events. You know, the perfect job, whatever. You know, you just get to be yourself. And he was like, I was feeling kind of shitty, and he was like, but then I realized I had to break up my life into like kind of 4 activities, all of which are fine. It was like basic, maintenance, like, taking a shower, eating healthy, cleaning up your room, working out, whatever you need to do. There's something that was like, is energizing activities, things that just give you energy, restful activities, being whatever it is for you, is it sitting down and watching a movie, or is it, going for a walk, whatever, and energizing things could be the exact opposite of that, depending on the type of person you are. And then mindless time of just like going on Reddit, or fucking just playing a video game with your friends, or just hanging out and doing nothing. Like, and as long as you keep those 4 in balance, where like he was hitting situations where he would just let the mindless time like balloon up. He'd be like, I need to do relaxing time, so I'll do a mindless activity. And then that was like not. And then he'd be like, I just need to do nothing, and then go on like Reddit for 2 hours and be like, wow, I feel like shit still, because he was like letting that take over way too much time. And so he had to like realize, but that's still not a bad thing. You should still let that happen. There's nothing wrong with you going to just play a game with your friends, or just to sit down by yourself and play a video game for a little while, like a couple hours. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to make sure that everything is in check as well, and you're using everything correctly, and just understanding what gives you energy and what lets you be in a more restful state,
Right.
and understanding that balance. So like you probably could just sit down and play Skyrim, but you have to look at it as like, this is okay, and I want to do this, and this is just some of my goof off time. I don't have, but it's not neither the energy or the restful thing. It's just, time for you to just kind of not have to be on that go state all the time, or, whatever. But it's also not going to take up, time where it's just like, I just need to lay down or whatever. So finding whatever it is that you need to do to find that comfort middle zone and just feeling way better about all that stuff. I think honestly, when I watched him say that, I was like, I think I'm finding that I'm doing that subconsciously, where I'm putting myself in situations where I'm getting all of the type of things I need in a certain way. It's interesting.
Yeah, I like that framework
Mm-hmm.
to explain time usage. I mean, because what I've found myself doing lately is Googling news, which is awful.
Oh,
Because
the
then
worst
you
thing
just
ever.
Yeah.
You don't gain anything from that.
No, nothing at all. Like, and also some social media stuff. Like, all I have is Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, who I'm friends with very few people who post anything that I care about. You
Mhm.
know, so I was talking with anyways, but I find myself just scrolling
Right.
through
The feed, yeah.
Right, the feed.
Right.
With no purpose
Yeah.
and like searching for meaning or searching for entertainment or searching for something and getting nothing out of it.
Right. And that's just letting your mindless time balloon up. You need to find more things, like figure out what it is to you that gives you more energy or lets you actually hit that resting state. Like what he was saying was like his resting thing, like one of the things he likes to do, like to calm down, is like just go to like a coffee shop by himself, have a cup of coffee and just sit and stare at the wall or whatever. Just think, listen to music, go for a walk, that kind of thing. Like it's not like you're not doing nothing, but he's just not interacting with people because his job is with the streaming and the hosting and stuff. He has a like very social job. He's got to put out a lot of energy. So the way his resting is coming back to himself and just letting himself recharge fully by himself. Stay away from people, don't talk to people, go to a massage, don't get talked to. That's one of the examples he was using. Like just be him as him, find recenter himself basically. So I don't know how you would be. You might be something different where it's like you want to go for a bike ride but you want to go by yourself, be something a little more active, a little more intense or whatever. So that kind of like balance of like you are just letting that like what feels like nothing, but like because it is the nothing time that you should be having, you're letting that feel like your rest time, or just a way for you to just figure out information, learn something, whatever. You're not learning a skill, you're just browsing in the news, getting angry about whatever,
Yeah, all for nothing. But
yeah.
So I've been trying to cut back on that. And not that I do that much. When I say take time, I take like 10 minutes because it's all the free time I have anyway.
Right, exactly. You probably are way busier than most people.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's like a lot of things you have to kind of be like, well, what is it about me? Like, figuring that's the thing too is we're still very relatively young. Like we're not going to know like what we need. Like what is it that you're gonna like? I remember thinking like when I was a lot like in high school, I was like, oh, I'm very much a very introverted person. I don't really want to like get too much into people, but that's I was completely wrong. I enjoy being around a lot of people and doing that stuff. I like going out. Like I can only do it. Like I definitely have the introvert, have to be alone to recharge, but I love going and just doing whatever, hanging out with a bunch of people, doing whatever. Like that's really fun and like actually like a good, it feels good to do.
Right.
Hanging out with someone, just being with another person. But I still need that I can go out and go get fucking hammered at some party and do whatever and just go crazy, but I'm not going to be able to do that the next day. I need to come home and just be like, all right, I just need me time. Let me just play like a video game for like 2 hours. Let me just unwind as me. And then I can go out and do that. Like I need that like balance. I can't just go crazy in one or crazy in the other. But I'm not only really realizing that within the last like 2 months. So like, it's been,
I know. I feel like, do you think you've changed a lot?
So I think,
or how have you changed, I should say?
I don't know. See, it's hard to say because and that's the nice thing about this is like I was telling you, I started talking to someone from the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. They've been listening to the show and they're like, wow, I can tell you've changed a lot. Because then I pitched it to them. I was like, just as a heads up, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of fucking, not very PC, or I may have been, but I leave it up there as like kind of a reminder of like how I've changed in some ways. And like, oh no, I can totally see that you've like gone through a lot. You're a very different person now than you were, however, even a couple weeks ago or whatever, it's like the transition has been noticeable. I just feel better. And as someone in the moment, I can be like, oh, there's definitely been a change in some way, but I don't know what it is. So hard to say. Where do you think you are? Do you think you're in a better place right now, or do you feel like you've changed and grown in some positive way?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, some positive ways, some negative ways.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the negative ways? Is that too much?
Yeah, they're not that negative.
Oh, okay.
One of the ways that's funny actually is, are you familiar with the concept of psychomotor slowing?
No.
So it's like a sign of depression, or other conditions as well, where basically like your speech becomes slow. It almost looks like you're like every single action or like word selection takes effort.
Oh, interesting.
And I feel like it started like happening to me.
Oh.
Just because I'm so distracted by everything else that like I have to be doing and all the stuff I've been learning.
Right.
So that's probably the bigged negative change. I've actually been pretty self-conscious about it.
Oh, what's right? I never noticed.
With you now.
Never would have noticed.
Oh, wow. Cool. Well, that's good though.
Yeah.
I'd actually planned on listening to this when we were done and comparing our talking speeds and actually comparing how fast I talk now to how fast I talked back then.
Because I gotta say, I talk way too fast.
No, you do. That's great. That's
I go
awesome.
way too fast. Sometimes, like a lot of times, I'll like stumble over words because I'll mash 3 together because I'm 2 sentences ahead in my head.
You're in the right profession to talk fast. This is great, man.
Like I can just go forever, and I don't know. That's just I guess me. Just I enjoy talking in way. I don't know. It's always been a chatty person in some aspect, I guess. So like, I don't know but I definitely have noticed that kind of thing where it's like if I'm more like alone, I can feel myself like slowing. And like if I like, what was I doing? I was doing something recently. I think it's another exhaustion thing, but like I was like, oh, I'm like slowed down. I don't like this. Like my brain is like reacting a little bit slower, and I don't like this. I got to figure out how to like balance and get back to 100% because like I reacted weirdly, or like so I forget what it was, but something like happened. And I didn't like I knew the answer, but like the pathway was like broken. I'd like redo it real quick. I was like, oh, it's over there. I was like, that was too slow. I gotta go to bed soon or something because I don't like this not being at 100%.
When was the last time you got like 8 or more hours of sleep in a row consecutively?
Consecutively, like what kind of consecutive rate?
Like a week. Have you ever when was the last time you slept 8 hours a night in a row for a week?
Fuck.
I know. I was thinking about this the other day.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I don't even think I did it during college. I think it probably had to have been back when I was living with my parents.
I think the last time it probably was when I was unemployed, just because like there was no reason for me to wake up. Mm-hmm. But even then, I still forced myself up because I was like, I know I'm going to need to wake up before noon.
And you probably still stayed up late because you're like, well, I don't have to get up for anything.
Right, yeah, so you'd still stay up. Yeah, so that's a great question. Yeah. Definitely not lately. Definitely not at all. Because I'll still stay up like till midnight and stuff and then wake up and be like, what did I just do? But I have had a couple of days over the weekend where like last weekend, I think Sunday, I woke up at 1. I was like, what the fuck happened? Granted, I went to bed at 5 because I was up until 5 playing MapleStory.
Story.
Like I woke up at 1. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I was like super hungover from just drinking a whole bunch too. So like that was a weird one-off. But usually, I'm like up pretty early regardless of what time, like what is happening. Like today, I woke up at like 7 or 8, and I was like, it's the weekend. You usually have to wake up at 4. Just go back to bed. Like just make it happen. I don't care how. It was a weird conversation with myself where it's like, why are we up? It's like, I don't know. We need to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating, I think, how little we sleep or how varied our sleep schedules are. I mean, have you watched the Mr. Rogers movie?
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
so good.
I haven't yet, but I watched a whole bunch of interviews with him.
And you've probably seen the movie. There's a lot of interviews with him.
But I mean, he went to bed at the same time every night, woke up at the same time every day, did that his whole life.
Yeah, he was a very
my parents do that too.
Traditional person, I guess I don't want to call it. I don't know what I'd say, but like, yeah, he's like fascinating dude. Fascinating. Yeah. How is it out on things? I don't even know. How would you find it? Because I saw it in theaters, but you should definitely.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's super good. You should find as soon as you can find it, you should go and do it. You need to rent it for money, or if you want to pirate it. I didn't not to say you should go do an illegal crime, but you should, that's an option.
Your brain on time.
Those websites exist. It was super good. It was funny too. Did I tell you when I went to see it? There was a part in the beginning where they go, and he was a lifelong Republican, and there's a woman behind me going, it was so funny.
I know. I can't wait till all our friends are 45, paying taxes, and realizing, oh wow, I won't go there. It's politics. I've been doing good.
It was so funny. Because and then when we finished too, there was like an older woman who stood up. Mm-hmm. You can buy it on DVD already? Wow. There's an older woman who stood up, and she was like, it's a very eclectic crowd in here. He reached a lot of people. Because it was like people that were like fucking 80, and then there was like, me and my brother were probably the youngest too, him being 20. So like, and I think he was on like the tail end of him being like actually having seen him on television or whatever. So,
I mean, I remember going to my grandparents, and I don't know if they were reruns. It must have been still live because
they talk about it in the movie.
It would have been in the late 90s that I went to my grandparents, very early 2000s, like 2000, 2001. Mm-hmm. I remember the trolley, the whole set, and him walking on. And I mean, it's fascinating to me. Again, we talked about earlier how you have to start, if you want to make an impact, start at a younger and younger age. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was teaching 4-year-olds how to deal with divorce.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. They talk about that in the documentary where it's like, he came in today and was like, we're going to talk about like segregation. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know.
He's just like,
I know.
He's just going to do it. And he would do it in such a like good way. It was like not super intrusive and stuff. Apparently that Jim Carrey show, Kidding, is a similar thing.
Okay.
He plays the Mr. Rogers character, and he's like, I forget what topic he wants to do in the very beginning, but he's like, 'cause I haven't seen it yet, but Ben was telling me about it. He wants to do something like death or some crazy topic in like this kid show. And it's like how they're dealing with that, like this. So it's like it's like the behind the scenes, the dramatized version of that behind the scenes of like, what are you trying to do right now in the kid show? But like it never happened. It still doesn't even happen. Kid shows don't have like crazy topics being breached and stuff like that. And
yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah.
There's no show like that right now, is there?
No,
for kids?
I
don't think
I
so.
don't know. I haven't, but I'm sure.
Because
I would guess there's not.
I want to say I keep up with what kids watch, but there's no fuck. Some of the things these kids come in with, like, on their shirt, I'm like, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's this. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm so out of it.
Plus, with the advent of YouTube and all the YouTubers,
Yeah.
and like,
Dude,
they
that's
could be
crazy.
watching that. They'd
Yeah.
be watching Minecraft videos.
Yeah, there was a lot of the special needs kids. They have like they'll have an aide or themselves will have like some kind of iPad to like try to make them smile for the picture or whatever. And it's like all sorts of these weird YouTube videos that like I would never know, or like Peppa Pig for some reason. That's still super popular. I don't know why Peppa Pig reaches so many children, but it does.
Dude, I watched Peppa Pig at like 18. That show was so good.
It's so popular still. But like like they'll like put up these videos. I'm like, I've never even heard of some of these things that like these kids are watching that like clearly bring them joy, because like that's what makes them smile. It's the aid is like, watch this, look at this thing, so you can smile for this picture. But yeah, it's like I can't keep, and that's the crazy thing too, is like there's just so much today. There's so much media that like there's no way you could keep up in any aspect. Where it's like some people, like especially with YouTube, like they do that like once a year, like big like I don't know, what do you call it? Like
convention, award ceremony.
No, it's like a video
audit
compilation with like all the people. I think the only way, the requirement to be invited is to have 1 million subscribers.
Okay.
I know like 4 people of last year's.
Wow.
Like I could, and there's tons of people. I could tell you who like maybe 4 of them are. Like it was nuts, and like 2 of them were the Paul brothers. Like
who are they?
Logan and Jake Paul. They're the guy who filmed the dead guy in the Japanese forest. It caused a lot of problems. You didn't hear about this?
No.
It was huge news. He went to Japan and caused a whole bunch of ruckus.
All the time I've been Googling news that has never come up.
It was earlier this year. And they went to the suicide forest, which is a very common place for Japanese people to commit suicide.
So I read about that forest in a James Bond book, I think. One of the original ones.
It's very famous forest. But they went there with cameras like, yo, we're going to find a dead body. And then they found one and then put it on camera, and he was in the dead guy was in the thumbnail. Like they drastically handled the situation poorly, and it caused him a lot of, his career took a dip, but it's like way better than it ever has been now, but like whatever. But both the Paul brothers constantly caused a lot of controversy, but I know what they look like. So they were 2 of the 4 people I recognize in this fucking thing, because there's so many people with 1 million subscribers on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Because like it's just, I can't keep up. There's so many people. There's so many different things, which also leads back to me being the American dream. Obviously, it's possible. I don't know who these assholes are. Like they clearly are doing it.
Have you heard the Shark Daddy song?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've not heard Shark Daddy?
I don't think so.
I'm Daddy Shark. It's like, how does it go? Daddy Shark. Do.
No, I've heard the thing.
It's got like over 1 billion views on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched the thing with the guy who was like, do you have a thing, or do you have a cookie in your mouth? He's like, no, Dad. And then it was weird. It's this weird like Indian cartoon or something. That's what I read. I don't know if it even is from India. I forget where it's from. It's not, I don't think it's American, but it was like a meme for a while. Like this really awkwardly paced, awkwardly toned song about like a dad not letting his son eat candy. And it was super weird and really poorly animated, like CG animation. It's hard to explain if you've never seen it.
Wow.
That's what you got on your list here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see your list. You have interesting handwriting.
Yeah, it gets closer and closer to chicken scratch every year.
That's good. You're going to medical, so.
Yeah, well, I learned to shorthand as a scribe, so there's probably not too much shorthand there, but I've started cutting out a lot of vowels when I write.
Really? Is that part of shorthand? I guess that saves time, right?
Yeah. It was for me anyways. I just made my own style.
Oh, right. I guess that is part of a...
Yeah, as many people do. Not.
Yeah. That makes sense. Jay Leno? Oh, the Jay Leno Joe Rogan thing?
Yeah.
That was really good. He's a fascinating guy.
Yeah. Oh, well, this actually ties into the American dream, because it was fascinating, I thought, how Jay Leno would take a $50 bill, heard the story right, and he would go to whatever bar or club he wanted to play at.
Oh, and he'd pay them.
He would say, here's a 50. If you like my material and people laugh, give me my 50 back.
Yeah.
If it's not a good show, you keep it.
Yeah. People who's going to turn that down?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he grew up in like before there was even like comedy clubs and stuff.
Right.
Like that's where he came up. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like some of the people that like pioneered stand-up comedy when it wasn't a thing, fascinating. Like what a fucking, you have to be so driven in this thing that doesn't exist.
Right.
Like, and you don't even know it works.
Yeah.
You just love it so much.
Yeah.
Like that's so crazy.
I mean, he was saying that he would go around with like 2 strippers and like he was their opening act, these 2 40-year-old working class strippers.
It's nuts.
Which is great, yeah. And then,
yeah, that's right. A lot of comedy things used to start in like strip clubs and stuff. because like who the fuck else is gonna let some dude with a microphone talk? Like,
have you been to the Mopco?
no,
Schenectady Improv?
no, I know where that is though. Yeah.
We should go. You
Yeah, I
should
would love to
go.
go.
It was $7 when I went.
Oh, that's
I
not
think.
bad.
Oh, it's great.
That'd be
It was
fun.
hilarious, and I could totally see you getting into that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cause like it is a goofy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. I've done improv class, not classes, but like, what do they call them? Not warm ups.
Skits.
Not skits either. Like games, I guess. Improv games, I guess.
Okay.
When I took one of the acting classes in college, we had to do a couple of them, and it was a lot of fun. You know, obviously there's a skill to it. Like if I think back to things I was doing or other people were doing, I'm like, oh, that was horrible. But like, it was all of our first time, so there's clearly a skill set you have to build in some aspects. But
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't even explain to you what it is because I've only done it like 2 or 3 times in that class. But it was fun. I wonder does they just take anyone? They kind of just walk in and be like, I demand that I start there?
No, they have classes.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
they have classes. I think it's like $20, $30 or something.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Huh.
Actually, that'd be a good idea because I've only thought about watching a show, but I think I would enjoy too.
I think so. I think it would
Going
just
to
be.
do it.
I think it would be
Yeah.
beneficial for anyone to at least try.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just to keep you like quick too with like responses and like being the witty one
For sure.
in the room. That would be kind of fun. We should look into that. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting. Huh.
Yeah, we'll get you set up with your new job as a caseworker. we'll go out.
Oh man, you're just over here to help me in all aspects. Pat to the rescue.
Yeah, right.
Huh. All right. Yeah. I would definitely want to go and watch. I think it'd be kind of fun because it's like really close. I don't know. I've never thought about going.
Yeah, and it's cheap. I
it's
think it was
cheap, yeah.
$5 or $7.
That's not bad.
Great cookies.
They give you cookies
Yeah.
for $7 and a show.
Well, I think I paid $2 for
It's
the
fucking
cookie,
robbery.
but you get free popcorn.
It's fucking robbery. It's fucking it's irresponsible not to go.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it's like when MoviePass was good. It's irresponsible not to have it.
Oh man, there's a girl in my class who probably has seen 20 movies using MoviePass at least.
So
If
it's
not
so
more.
shitty now. I
Yeah.
had to stop using it.
But I couldn't understand like the Ponzi scheme that it was when like she first got it. I'm like, there's no way this is legit, and she just kept using it and it worked well.
That was the point.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense, so you
Yeah.
abuse it until it goes away. That's I
That was
keep
her
talking to people.
attitude too.
I keep talking to people about it, and they're like, "Oh, you were doing that? That's like fucking." It's like, why would I not?
Yeah, it's no detriment to you.
I lose nothing. I only gain.
Yeah.
I'm just abusing a system that's clearly flawed. Like, I'm going to keep using this until it burns.
Yeah, like just food stamps.
Like it's like why would I not abuse the system? And people are like, what? Why would you do that? It's clearly gonna fail. It's like, well, then I'll enjoy the ride while it's on fire. Like I don't get hurt. Yeah, it was silly. It's like,
Yeah.
why would you? It's silly. Yeah, why would you not?
Yeah.
So yeah, why would we not?
Speaking of marriage,
Marriage.
yeah.
Where are you pulling that from?
What are your thoughts on marriage? That was also on the list, but
Oh.
I don't know if we're running out of time.
No,
or
it
not,
definitely
so I
it
just
definitely
wanted
was on the list. I totally blanked. My thoughts on it. What does that mean? Does it
Yeah.
exist? Yeah.
to-
Like what?
No, like I don't know. Is it something you've ever wanted as a
Oh
goal
yeah.
for
I
yourself?
think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not over here slinging dick all day, but like you know,
No, but
I think it'd be nice to have.
neither
You
am
know,
I,
I
but-
think it'd be nice to have a companion of some sort. Yeah,
Hmm.
like someone just to hang out with a lot.
What are your thoughts on like open marriage or like?
I mean, it's up to
what,
the people.
Like, what is marriage to you? I mean, what?
What is marriage to me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
it something you've ever considered or taken the time to think about?
like, what is it to me? No,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really thought about it. I mean, I guess just
I mean, for some people, there's a religious component, right?
right. No, it wouldn't be anything like that to me. It would just be more of like a permanent bond
Okay.
with someone, I guess is how I would determine it. Like,
So then, what's your take on divorce? I mean, would you enter into a marriage with the possibility of divorce, or?
So
And if you don't want to talk about this, we
no,
can talk
I
about this
don't. I
too.
just don't think I have an answer that's like thought out. So I'm just gonna kind of devise it on the spot here. Yes, because it's so like it happens, obviously.
Right.
And I would hope not. I would go in being like, well, 50% of marriages end in divorce. You know, I wouldn't be going like with that mentality. But I would, obviously it does happen. I wouldn't handle it well if it wasn't my decision.
Oh, I know.
Because I don't handle that kind of stuff well. That goes back to the teacher dying thing. I hate people who self-diagnose, but I'm not very certain. But I have a inkling. I have BPD. which is borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
And an aspect of that is not handling people leaving you well.
Okay.
So often causing things so that that doesn't happen. So I don't think I would handle that well if someone just like was like, nah, fuck you, because like it's like apparently BP develops between like I think it was like 6 and 9 or something.
Yeah.
And it's like when someone just like up and leaves, like a divorce, a death of like a parent, or I guess in this case would be like a teacher disappearing, and it's like they're there one day and then not, and you're not in a developmental state where you can like understand that like people just go away.
Right.
So like that kind of can cause a problem developmentally. So I would assume no, I wouldn't handle a divorce thing well. But I would obviously it happens, so I would understand. Logically understand. Emotionally, there's no fucking way I'd handle it well. I would be a fucking mess.
Yeah, I don't know how you stand up. Sorry, I've never been in this situation, but how you stand up at that altar and say "till death do us part." You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Then,
You just got to believe it.
Yeah,
You just got to like that person enough. And like back to your question, the open marriage thing. Like, yeah, I mean, if that's what both people want, and like if they understand that both of you are the anchor that brings each other back. If you want to go fuck anything else, sure, that makes sense, I guess. As long as everyone's on the same page. Who am I to say? I can't tell you what to do with your life, But like, yeah, I would say like some kind of like, as long as the marriage in the open marriage is that you two just always end up back together with the occasional fling or whatever. Everyone agrees. Yeah, sure, that makes sense to me at least. But
interesting.
What do you think? Where do you stand on that stuff? I feel like you're a very big proponent of open marriage.
No, not at all.
No,
Actually, quite the
really?
opposite.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, open marriage, even open relationships.
Really?
I'm not keen on. I know, right?
I mean, I personally wouldn't be involved. We want to be invested in that, but I understand the concept.
Right. Oh, obviously.
I'm like, yeah, sure,
right.
go ahead and do it.
Right.
But,
the whole "don't yuck my yum"
yeah,
thing.
not for me, but if someone else is like, I'm in an open marriage, I wouldn't be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Cool
Pork
for you.
chop sandwiches.
That would not be my reaction.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I brought this up because there's someone I'm
Right.
on,
I was about to say, you mentioned before we started that you're seeing someone, and I'm assuming that's going well.
Oh yeah,
That's
very
good.
well, yeah.
How long has that been?
So just about 6 months now.
Oh, fuck me. That's nice.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Is that like, I mean, I know you were with someone else for a little bit longer in college probably, but is this like a healthy long-term thing? That's good.
Extremely. That's incredible.
That's
She's
awesome.
incredible. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's working out for you, because I know you've struggled with that in the past.
Yeah.
So as long as that's always been seemingly a major part of how you identify yourself, as long as you have someone else to reflect, I guess, off.
Yeah. And well, that's just so interesting too, is that I think prior to, getting to know her, I think I had started to pass that stage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, and don't take this the wrong way, but as an outsider looking in, it always seemed like when you weren't with someone, you were in lesser spirits than when you were. Because you didn't have, I guess, what the best way I would be able to explain it is like someone that you can like validate your thoughts with. Someone that would be like, you are great, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, sure, I believe this person. Like, this is the person I want to, I sleep with or whatever. This is the person I have I've reached the most intimate with, and they feel the same way about me, or that that validation or whatever. So
yeah, it's interesting to get an outsider's perspective on that. I mean, I think just for myself, in the past, I always enjoyed having partners. To me, that's where I always had the most fun in life.
Oh, it definitely seems that way for you. Yeah.
My passions would have lied. But
so it's good to know that this is going well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think you are past that, like the need to anchor yourself with someone?
Yeah.
That probably makes you a more like what is the word I want? Like sought after mate, companion, like someone who can be their own person.
I could.
Like I think that's probably. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's probably a nice touch. Someone would be like, oh, he's not 100% like I need to be everything for him. Like he can be by himself and do his own thing.
Right.
His own. You can be your own person, and then she can be like, her own person. You guys can just kind of meet in the middle.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And this is, I feel like, the first relationship I've been in where it's been a true partnership.
That's cool.
You know, where both people bring something to the table, something different, something similar.
Oh, that's cool.
And
you haven't had that leading up to this?
No. I mean, that sounds bad. We might edit this part out, but
yeah.
But yeah, no, not really.
I mean, it's good that you can understand that. You can reflect on that and be like, oh, this is what a good one looks like.
Yeah, I mean, just, I don't know, everything about this feels right.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's hard to say. I know I brought this segment up thinking that there'd be a lot to talk about.
Well, I know you said in the beginning you don't want to mention very specific details, so that's fine. But
but everything is just going well.
That's good.
And I guess, I mean, you knowing me,
yeah,
that's something that's
a very
atypical.
Good, yeah, it's a good, but it's a nice thing to hear.
Yeah.
I
know, it's weird when we're both doing well, man. Like, what is this?
I don't know. Like, I'm not, and the weird thing is, too, is I feel like I could do better.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird? You're like, you can tell things are going well.
Yep.
But you're looking for that next rung up the ladder. Like, I can, no, this is possible. I can actually climb up out of this.
Right.
Let me keep going.
Right.
How far can I take this?
Yeah. Like, what's amazing, like I talk about passing that stage and being with her, like, I know she's the one.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah.
That's interesting. And it's a bold call. It's a bold claim.
Yeah.
It's only been 6 months, hombre. Why don't you reel it in a bit?
Nope. I'm not reeling anything in.
That's the Payabunk way. No.
You see the other side of the Hudson River? Oh boy, I just cast my fishing line and it got stuck in the bank on the other side. Can't reel this back in.
That's 100% the you mentality. Oh, no, I'm going full in.
Yeah.
You should never gamble. Never go to play poker.
I bought $20 in lottery tickets.
That's true. That's true. You already said that. Yeah. You already dumped a whole bunch of money in something that you have no chance of winning. That's hilarious.
But I mean, I've been suffering some other health setbacks as well recently too.
How'd you go? Like, you had a couple of those. Is that like clearing up with like the feet and all that stuff? Or?
Yeah, so the feet got better after the procedure. So that went well.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll tell you this. Well, no, actually, I won't. I'll tell you this after this one of them, which is a bit more personal. I want to tell you, and it would make an interesting story to talk about, but I think it's a little too personal.
Yeah, it's fine. It's up to you, man. Not here to force you to do anything.
Yeah. But a lot of those have forced me to put into perspective, you know, what I want and sort of how I live my life. And I mean, have you ever, well, like, if we could talk about like suicide for a second, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, well, again, if it's too personal, don't answer, but have you ever thought about suicide?
Yeah. All the time.
Okay. I mean, likewise myself too. Like, I remember in high school, you know, many, many nights crying myself to sleep, you know, some instances with like some, you know, near, you know, some I guess like planning type stuff, you know, going as far as that. You know, which I think is again pretty natural and par for the course when you're a teenager. I don't think it's supposed
to be.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like a lot of people get messed up now because we tell them that there's a problem when there's not, you know, like in hindsight, I mean, I think I just had, you know, the blues or, you know. No,
there's definitely clear ups and downs in life, but I don't think I think going that far is abnormal.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to go that far.
Even though, like, because I consider you and myself to be pretty normal people. Do you not consider that? Or
no, not at all. I have a lot of problems.
I mean, we all do, Tom.
No, like I don't really like ever really express in any certain way, but like there have, you know, like I have incredibly dangerous anger problems.
Wow.
I have broken a lot of things. Wow. I don't know if it's bad anymore. This knuckles is still a little red and kind of bigger than the other one, the middle knuckle, because I just smashed the floor because I know that won't break.
Wow.
Because I know that if I break something, I have to deal with it or I get in trouble.
Wow.
And this has been for years, so I've learned ways to get around that.
Sure.
So punch the floor. Punch something that can't break. Punch something that can't hit back. And like, you know, but
like
I need...
women, am I right?
Jesus Christ. But like, what was I saying? For breaking things,
punch the floor,
punch things you can't
break
punch
things
back.
that can't punch back.
Fuck, I had a thought.
I'm sorry.
I was not expecting that. That was coming. But yeah, it's like, you know, you just kind of, you know, you work around certain things like that, and like I have ways of this, like I used to like outburst in front of people a lot more. Now if I can catch it fast enough, I'll remove myself from the situation, but I'll still have the outburst, like in my car, like while I'm driving somewhere or something.
Okay.
You know, like I'll still have that reaction. Just I'll try to keep it away from the people because that's just not a thing that needs to happen. You know, whatever. It's like it's weird. It's weird. I don't know what it is, but like, I've also had like I'm a very dramatic person.
Okay.
I have a lot of like, it's a lot of it's like almost like a switch. It's like just extreme emotion or nothing. And it's like you turn it on and like that's when the incredible passionate, like I'm just gonna fucking kill myself this right now, and you start setting shit up and you're like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Like you just start coming back to it and it's like, but yeah, it's like that's been for years and all reactions like that and stuff like that, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm an absolute mess, but I've been able to contain it or like understand triggers of it and understand like things that are going to happen or ways to make it so that that doesn't manifest in any real way, which is why I think lately I've been in a much healthier place because I've had a lot less of that emotional reaction to certain things.
Interesting.
You know, like I'm like Soul Calibur 6 that came out. It's pretty much like a fighting game, and like things go poorly. Nightmare is bullshit. I don't understand how he works. I don't understand how you beat him. But like, you know, also gonna be like, what the fuck is that? Like, what do you do? But I'm not throwing my controller across the room. I'm not punching the floor. I'm not doing something that's going to cause damage. I'm just like getting up and having like an emotional, like a normal, like, what is this? Like, you know, it's a little pop off moment. Like, what the fuck? How does that work? But it's not like something's directly I'm not ruining something because I'm having this, you know, unstable emotional reaction. You know, so like clearly there's something better happening with me internally, where I've had some kind of better, it might just be a healthier environment, being actually up and moving and being interacting with people and stuff like that. I'm not as much insulated in my own thoughts, but, you know, so clearly something's improving in some aspect, but there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
But I don't know what, like.
Well, I mean, I brought that up just because, you know, I think at least over the past year, I mean, especially after, you know, things ended with Sarah, and then with Olivia, you know, and et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was at a pretty dark place kind of right when school started, you know, and, but I sort of had this realization where, like, I just decided, okay, you know, part of it's faith-based and part of it's just like, you know what? Like, I'd always considered suicide to be like an option, right? Like, if things get bad enough, you can just always end it. Like, you know, like, no matter what happens, right? But,
that's not a great way to think about things.
Yeah, but it's a way.
I mean, it's not,
you know.
It's not logistically wrong, but it's probably not good for your health. Because I've also, like, my initial response was like, yeah, of course. But, like,
right.
I think back at, like, that's not how I should be reacting to that, like, that kind of mindset.
But
because, like, that shouldn't be, because it's a really shitty thing to do to, like, other people around you and stuff. I mean, we fucking threw a whole tournament for a kid who we all cared about deeply. Right. So, like, you know, obviously, like, it's not,
right.
You know, it's the answer for you immediately, but it has a wide effect to a bunch of stuff. Like, it's not a great answer to anything. It shouldn't be on the table. Yeah. You know.
So that's a good point to make. But what I decided, you know, again, part of in passing through this phase and prior to seeing this person, is that I'm never going to do that.
Oh, that's great.
Like, I've just decided that is no longer an option. That, you know, if my purpose is to suffer or is to go through whatever, then that's fine. But that's no longer on the table. And so...
Well, that's great. It's great you were able to figure out that by yourself, too.
Yeah.
Because I had gone to a therapist after another also relationship of mine went south. You are familiar. And, like, I was just, like, I was feeling, like, absolute garbage. So I, like, went and saw a therapist or whatever. And, like, she kind of, like, broke it down. She's like, life will have, like, ups and downs. Like, that's normal.
Right.
And to have that, like, explained to me, I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
So this is a little bit better to know that I'm not, like, insane for feeling like dog shit right now.
Yep.
So, like, that helped a lot. And then now a lot of times when I start feeling, like, more sad emotions, I'm like, well, that's all right. These things happen. Yeah. We'll get through this.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
That's a great point. And I mean, I think that now, you know, talk about recent changes and, you know, now we've earned enough life experience to begin to see past that kind of, you know, to have our own perspective on ourselves, you know, like, oh, like, I've been sad before, you know, like, oh, I've been depressed before. I know it can get better, you know. But, you know, when you're younger, when you don't have that experience, you don't necessarily know that's going to happen.
Right, yeah.
You know.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, like, that's, but just tying this all together, I mean, for me, prior to starting things with her, you know, just being secure in my own self and knowing that, you know, even if this doesn't work out, it's going to be okay.
Oh, right.
You know?
No, that's good. That's like, good. That's really
which
good.
Which is so drastically different than everything that I thought before, you know? I mean,
I've talked to you about this for years now. Yeah. That is a fucking amazing thing to hear coming from your mouth right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because that has never been like your mentality. You've always been like ride or die this person. Right. If this person leaves, I'm dead. Like, it's over. Like, I remember you've said before, if you're not married by 30, you're killing yourself.
I've said that?
You have said that to me. Not even once. You said that at least 2 or 3 times.
I don't recall that. But
Yeah. Back in college, you should say that.
Wow.
If you weren't married by 30, you'd kill yourself.
Wow. Boy, I mean, I don't know, but and getting over this and then like
that's why I'm blown away that you're like,
Yeah.
you're like, this is
but
fucking
it
crazy. This is amazing.
I know, but
It's such great news.
I know, it is great news. And it made it so that way, in starting things with her, that everything was just so more natural and there's so much more freedom.
Oh, that's amazing.
And there's no pressure.
That's great.
And there's no expectations, and we're just able to enjoy each other and grow.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
again, it's like the first adult, mature, healthy.
Something you've been looking for so long. You always talk like that too. Like, I need the adult, emotional, like everyone's like rational relationship. I'm really happy we've actually started to find this. This is great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm glad that you actually fucking have you've had that switch, that change. Look at you making all this change, being a healthier person.
I know, trying to be.
I'm so glad you came on here. This is so great. This is such a great way to experience this. Now everyone can hear my joy and glee that you're fucking pulling it together. Oh, I'm so happy right now. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. What was the last thing you wrote down? You just wrote something down.
Oh, Irving Plaza, man. So we went to see. You know who Amy Shark is?
No.
She's an alternative / sort of pop artist from Australia.
That's awesome.
But we went back to Irving Plaza.
Where's that?
That's the concert venue we saw the Gym Blossoms at, man.
Oh yeah. Sure.
But like, God, I mean,
It's a nice venue.
that was great. And not looking back, like, another part of this attitude change that occurred, is I'm able to look back on that night, and that was one of the best nights ever.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was great.
It was a great time.
Yeah, but like, I mean, we don't have to get explicit with everything that happened that night,
Oh, we can. I don't
but
care that much.
But like,
It's up to you.
no, that's fine. But like, I was, like, I think my emotions that night were a little justified, but at the same time was a little, like,
I would say unjustified.
yeah. Well,
I mean, like, to put it in perspective, just a breakdown of what it was. You started making out with a girl, and she
Right.
turned out and made out with me.
right.
It was a adult woman making a decision.
Right. No, you're right.
So like,
right.
neither of us should feel anything, because neither of us even did anything after that.
right.
Like, it was just like, here's an adult woman who just made a choice.
Right.
To move on to something like, that's how meaningless everything about it was. It's like, it's just, here's a person. No one,
Yeah. No, and I definitely experienced, some jealousy and whatever,
Right.
and et cetera. But, like, I'm so happy. Like, now I look back at that. It was one of the best nights ever.
It was a
'Cause
lot of
the Gym
fun.
Blossoms fucking killed it.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Like, we shouldn't. No one should have been.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I was just like, all right, whatever. Like, this just happened.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. This doesn't normally happen to me, but it did.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just move on. Like, it's, it sucked that you felt. I could feel that you felt bad about it, but like, it was just, none. Like, I couldn't even tell it was happening because it was behind me. You were her.
Right.
And then she made another decision. Like, oh, okay. He must have been like, because in my head, there's no way Pat would just like turn this down. So he must have been like, I'm gonna enjoy the show. And then she was like, all right, I need something else.
Yeah.
So I just didn't put it.
Yeah.
It's just adults making thing. I don't know. It happens.
I know.
People are.
Yeah, but what, I don't know. When I was there, I was thinking about, like, man, like, we had such a good time,
It was a great time. I loved going out to dinner with you guys, drinking.
Oh, that's great.
Because I went a couple months later to a show in the city, and I just went by myself. I was like, damn, this is way worse. Can't talk about the show with anyone. Can't
Where did you go see?
Pale Waves.
Pale Wave. Oh, the band you like from Britain, right?
Yeah. And they were just playing Brooklyn. I'm going next month. See them again.
What date?
Excellent question. I bought the ticket. It's sometime in November. I want to say middle of November.
I'm probably tied up. Otherwise, I'd go with you.
I will tell you. But yeah, I just like kind of bought tickets and went. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And then, but when I was done, I was like, I guess I just go home. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I guess it's just over. Like, there's no one to hang out with. I don't really want to go to a bar by myself because, like, I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Guess I'll just go home.
Dude, what do you think of actually going to the concert by yourself, though? That's one of my favorite things to do.
It was pretty fun.
That's about not the only activity, but that's one of the few activities that I really actually enjoy or would prefer to do by myself.
I like a lot of things by myself. Like movies, I always go by. That's why I went to my coworker to see Halloween, and I was like, I never go to movies with people. This is kind of weird. And she was like, yeah, I actually always go by myself too. And like, yeah, it's like it's just like it's like my like we were talking about with like the energy types. Like that's my resting thing. Like I go to a movie and I just like quiet. Like if I could, I keep saying it here on the show specifically, but like if I could pay extra to just have a theater by myself, I would. It's not like watching a movie relaxes me. It's watching a movie in a theater. I don't buy any snacks or drink or anything. I literally just buy the ticket, sit down, and I watch the movie and I go home. But like, I like not having to worry about other people, have to worry about other things going on. It's just me, movie, go home. Like, it's just like a nice way to just like reset the whole clock. And it's like weird. It's a weird thing I have, but it's like a nice thing like that. And this concert's kind of similar if it wasn't fucking 3 hours away.
Yeah,
like,
the travel. And
that would have been like, so if it was like, you know, fucking Northern Lights or something, that would have been awesome. Just go, see it. All right, cool, and leave, you know.
Yeah,
nothing to do, nothing like, oh, what do you want to do? All right, let's go. And it's like, oh, do you want to go home? Like, I don't really want to, that kind of stuff. You just, do you want to go get a drink? I don't really want to. Like, just, I want to go home, but I kind of do. It's like, you know, there's none of that, like, everyone's on the same page, so it's just you. You know, it's just like, I'm just gonna go home, I guess. Or I'm gonna go, you know, do whatever. So that is kind of a nice aspect of it. But the concert was interesting though. Just kind of like everyone's all in a crowd. That was the one thing that I did miss having someone to kind of talk about it with.
Okay.
On the walk back. But everything leading up to that also probably would have helped too, because it was in Bowery Hall, which is in like, I think, Lower Manhattan or something, and I got lost super hard.
Did you walk from the bus station?
No, what I ended up doing is Ben was in school at Iona, so he was downstate, and I met him, had dinner, and took the train from New Rochelle into the city. Okay. And then subwayed over to that part of town, and then walked there, but it stopped being numbered streets where I was. So I got very confused. So I like walked by the venue twice, because like Bowery Road is like this, and then it's like an offshoot road. It's like a perpendicular road is where the concert hall was. Yep. So I would walk right by it. I'm like, the GPS says it's right here, but there's nothing here. And then I was walking and I saw like the rope that like, you know, lines are done for, and they're like putting it away. I'm like, oh, it's over there. That's where it is. It's not on the street that I'm on. It's on the other one. All right. So it was like, took me a second, but that would have been nice to have someone be like, where the fuck is this? I don't know where the fuck this is. But if it was like somewhere like really close, that would probably be even better. Like there would be no hassle. It would just be like, do I want to go? All right, sure. Fuck it. Let's go. That's the other thing nice too about it. Where it's like, do I want to go? I guess I'll go. Like it just, you only have to convince one person. It's like, it's not like two people are like, well, I don't know. It's like, it's going to start in like 5 minutes. It's like, but it's like right there. It's like, I don't know. All right, let's not go. So that's, that's the nice thing too. Of like, having that. But why do you like going to concerts by yourself?
Very similar to what you said with the movie. I mean, my deal is I hate entertaining someone, you know, or I don't hate it, but I like it less and less. So, you know, if you go to a concert and you're not sure if they like the music too, it's like, are they having a good time or they're not having a good time? Like, right. I just want to dive in and enjoy it.
Right, know? Make so, it more of a you thing. Yeah,
like when I saw the Front Bottoms at Upstate Concert Hall, you know, like, or Northern Lights, that was great.
I was about to say, you call it that now?
No, I just did. This is the first time. I always try to be pretentious and call it Northern Lights, and then...
I don't even think of it as an Upstate Concert Hall until someone says it. Often someone says that, and I go, what are they talking about? Oh, right, okay. Yeah. I don't know why they changed the name. It's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's so dumb. Northern Lights is just a cooler name.
It's a very cool name. Shitty venue, but a cool name.
Yeah. I saw Snoop Dogg there.
No shit, really?
Yep.
That's a dope place to see that. There's apparently some metal band playing there on Halloween. I'm considering going just because like that sounds like fun.
That'd be awesome. Metal show and Halloween costume. Yeah. What are you going to go as?
I don't know. I haven't bought a ticket yet. I haven't decided if I'm going.
You should go as like pop punk or like something like, I don't know.
No, what? Why? Why pick the worst genre of music?
Exactly. Because you're going to a metal show. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a Halloween costume.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
You know.
That's a good point. I see what you're saying.
It was like K-pop. I don't know.
You convinced me. K-pop's wonderful though. But yeah, I might do that because that sounds fun. I've never actually been to a metal show. Like I think Metallica's playing on 2 Mondays from now.
Did you get tickets? Are you going?
No, I didn't get tickets. I'm thinking about it. They're probably gonna be like the way back. But
my dad's going to Five Finger Death Punch, I think, in December.
They don't have fans. They're not a real band.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm kidding. But like, I want to go to like a real shitty one where there's like a mosh pit and stuff. Because like Metallica would be nice to see because I like them as a band, but it won't have like the metal experience because they're very like clinical of like.
Yeah, they've done it so many times.
Yeah,
now, probably.
And that's why they're playing a fucking arena so they can fucking work with all the people. But like. The one I'm thinking about going to is at Northern Lights. When it's like, all right, well, that's a shitty fucking venue. People are probably going to start throwing some punches. So that seems like a place to be. That seems like the metal show to go to. Yep. That's the place you get fucking, gored. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So like, make sure you sharpen your teeth before you go.
Yeah, right, yeah. No, usually metal people are pretty cool. Like, if you get knocked over, everyone helps you get up. It's like that. It's just, but it sounds like fun.
Yeah, I went to one, probably, it wasn't a metal show, so it's not super relevant, but it was like a Screamo, whatever, and like there was a mosh pit and a girl did a backflip into me.
That's awesome.
And then apologized and like.
Oh yeah, they're very nice. They understand. They understand that the space and stuff like that. They don't want to hurt anyone, but also trying to get the fucking the anger out, trying to go crazy. That's what you're trying to do. That's all of it at once. I do want to go, even though I don't like the punk that much. I want to go to like a garage punk show, like some shitty fucking like where like the band is literally like on top of the crowd, that kind of like super low key thing.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Candy Ambulance with me?
No.
We should go see them.
Is that what that is?
They're like a Glens Falls, Saratoga native
okay.
group. They have some songs that play on EQX.
Oh, okay. I haven't listened to radio
Their lead
in a while.
singer is very attractive, very good, very talented.
Oh, okay. Are they like? But do they play like very small, very intermediate?
Yes. They play like the River Street Pub in Troy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a nice place.
River Street Pub?
I think I've been there. That's the one I'm thinking of. It's not bad.
It's like a dive bar.
Yeah. But they play music there. It's nice.
Yeah, there's a little stage. Yeah.
The little stage is nice. I saw the It was like the remaining members of the Jerry Garcia band or something. It was something weird. It was a nice little spot. It was like, it was pleasant.
Yeah.
They're like right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's what's the other place? There's always a ton of metal shows at Paulie's Hotel.
I don't know what that
in
is.
Albany. It's like the oldest bar in Albany.
Oh, really?
There's no food, just a bar
I should
and a
go.
stage in the back. I saw Candy Ambulance there as well.
Because that's the I forgot what I was doing, but I was like, man, I really just want to go to a metal show. Like I want to see like that.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking nonsense, because it's fun. Like one of my favorite. Then I went to that animation festival in a metal bar in New York City. It was so much fun. Like this is the best time I've ever had in my life. It's just like everything is fucking great that's happening. Everyone's just getting drunk and watching cartoons, and then when the show ended, some metal band. It was two dudes and a fucking drum machine got up and started just screaming. I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever been to in my life. I love this place so much, and like I just want that experience again. So I was like, I should probably go find like a bunch of metal shows. I couldn't figure out where to go, but that now helps me.
Yeah. If you Google albanyevents.org.
Okay.
Paulie's Hotel always has shows, and they're always promoted on that website.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yep. And there's usually no cover or small cover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's fun. Because I just enjoy that and that atmosphere sometimes.
Yep.
Just like it's fun. It's where I like. It's like
walking distance to my apartment. You can visit me.
Oh.
Say hi.
We should all just go together.
You can crash my apartment.
Oh,
we can
man.
go together 5 times. Yeah.
Yo, let's fucking do that. Let's get fucking hammered. Little metal show and go fucking pass out in your place.
Yeah.
You're very reluctant on that answer.
I'll do everything with get hammered, man.
Really? You're done with getting drunk? Getting drunk?
Yeah. Maybe I'll do it a couple more times, but.
A couple more times. You're just like out of it. You're done.
At a special occasion or something, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Why? Just because?
I don't feel good when I do it.
Oh,
I
okay.
hate
Makes
wasting
sense.
the next day, yeah.
I don't like go that hard.
What was that?
You don't have to go that hard.
I don't know. I just feel like junk whenever I do.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I don't think about it. You didn't even have like a beer at that pool party we went to, did you?
No.
Yeah, you're totally done, huh? I mean, granted, if you're not getting hammered, beer's gross. Like a mixed drink's always fine. You know. Yeah, White Russian. It's just like drinking milk.
God, you guys drank those like water in college. That was great.
They're great. They're so good.
Yeah.
They just taste like milk.
But the fact that you like drink milk to get drunk is like...
It's a fucking awesome.
Oh, man.
It's like a Clockwork Orange. It's a good book.
I haven't read it. I've read
really
the synopsis.
weird. It's actually super weird. It's like half in Russian. It's very strange. I used to have a copy that now I'm realizing I have no idea where it is. I think my brother's room. That I had translated the first like 3 chapters. So I have like in pencil like the words like what they mean on top, because like they start using like the same ones over and over again, like Droog and stuff like that, talking about the gang. But it's very confusing when you're first reading. You're like, what the fuck is happening? But they go to a milk bar where they then spike it. So they all drink milk, but it's spiked milk.
Ah, interesting.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So I brought that up. But no, it's delicious. I love it. It's been very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's next for Tom?
What's next for me? Living. Getting, just working on some small stuff here. Just anything, balancing life. Hanging out with people. Been enjoying that a lot. Just kind of realizing how much I really enjoy just being with people.
Good.
So, that's why I'm glad you reached out. Someone else also reached out like at the same day. They're like, hey, I'm gonna be on the show. I'm like, all right, great. Let's fucking figure this out.
Booking guests in advance, man.
It's weird.
Wow.
So yeah, I think I want to start just hanging out with people. I like it. There's a lot of people I like that live around here that I just never really think to be like, let's hang out. So
yeah, have you seen like Tim Winkowski or anyone?
Yeah,
lately?
yeah. I saw him recently too. That was nice.
Okay.
Hang out with him.
I texted him and told him we'd grab a drink, and I never did. I feel bad.
Just do it.
I've been busy, but I've found time to see you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we know who's we understand. Priorities. Yeah, we get it. No, I saw Kian. He's nice, doing well. Yeah, it's just nice like going out, trying to just see people.
Yeah.
It was nice to just like go out with a coworker and just hang out. Like this is like it was like pleasant today.
Yeah, I mean trivia nights. Like,
trivia night, that's fun too. We've been doing that on Mondays. That's fun. It's just like this is really nice. Like I've just been enjoying the moment. I guess would be the way to put it.
Cool. Will you on air publicly commit to buying a lottery ticket?
Sure.
One ticket?
Yeah, sure. I don't understand like the draw times, so you'd have to just tell me when to buy it. But...
So yeah, prior to Tuesday, just go to any gas station, Stewart's, whatever, say you just want a Mega Millions quick pick.
All right.
And then if you win, we split.
All right, sure.
It's on air, everyone. You heard it.
Sure.
And
I just need the money to pay this loan. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
I was going to say, if I win, there'll definitely be a substantial split coming your way.
Yeah, sure. Sure, I'll do that. I don't need fucking $1 billion right now. I don't know what I would do with it. I'd fucking be overwhelmed.
Well, I mean, you'd get half that because we'd split it.
Right,
so.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I could split it because I have no idea what I'd do with that. Even 500 million.
Yeah.
So,
who do you think would come out of the woodwork?
Oh, everyone. Literally everyone.
Yeah.
They'd be I mean, the only people who would get money are people I like. You know, people like, if you got the money, it's because I actually like, it'd be like family first, and then I would just trickle it down until I could figure out what I'd actually do with it. Probably figure out a way to invest it or something, or just buy a house, or I don't know. I don't know. What do you do with money? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Buy shit you don't need. That's what I do with it. It doesn't seem to work out well, but
Yeah. Very good.
You want to wrap up?
Yeah, we can wrap up.
All right, sure. Well, I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for reaching out and telling me you want to come on.
Yeah.
Let's hang out more.
Time. Yeah.
Let's go to the fucking show. Let's be fun. Go to some metal show. Go to fucking improv. Whatever you want to do. You tell me.
Yeah. All right. So our to-do list.
Your schedule is way more busy than mine. So.
Yeah, I get a 3-week break in December though.
Okay. Yeah.
For Christmas holidays.
Yeah. So sometime around there, just let me know and we'll just go do something.
Sweet.
Yeah. Even if you want to come back on here, just jerk off each other.
I like it.
All right. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Love and
you.
kisses.